And welcome back to Nerderotic. My name is Gary Beekler, and I come to you live from nerderotic.com. And this is Friday Night Tights. Greetings, everybody. I have a co-host, I guess a permanent co-host now. I don't know if you know that or not, but you're a permanent co-host of Friday Night Tights Comics Division.
Yeah, I know. We had that negotiation where the payment is nothing.
Is nothing. Yes, it was. You really worked hard at that negotiation,
Hey,
and I agreed to it.
You're a tough negotiator, I gotta
say. And welcome, chat. We have Kirk Brown, Arian's Toy, Jaror, 123, KZ Bay, Joseph, Edinson Signs. Oh, I messed that up. Sorry, buddy. David Rose, Static MM, Ravens and Fly, The Black Shinobi. Oh man, you guys I'm killing myself with these names right now. Artemis Over Easy, Dr. Meatball, Kari's, Randomness Cartoons, Comics Divisions there, Truth Apocalypse, Gary North, The Black Shinobi. I probably already said that. What's up? The Official Dougie J, my old friend. That's a childhood friend of mine. Comics Division. We grew up together watching Star Trek and listening to Hitchhiker. It was good. Manic Boy Productions, K Fox, Seeb Hack, Planetary Disaster. Oh, hope not. Rome Hater and Paul Acadian, Buck Nasty 1138, Chris Persia and his wrench. The Green Lantern is here. Oh, all right. Is it Hal Jordan? Is it Kyle Rayner? Which Green Lantern are you? Am I red? Do I look red from it's probably the colorization of my I'm using my Surface Pro tonight. This is a test to see if it works. I'm not sunburned though. I'm just pink and white, I guess. That kind of person that Brie Larson doesn't want talking about her films and stuff. And A Wrinkle in Time. And don't worry, I won't talk about A Wrinkle in Time at all. I wonder if
you won't talk about how bad it is.
I heard it's awful. I almost want to watch it now, just to review it. So we will be talking about Brie because Brie bullied a poor guy on Twitter, and then Netflix jumped in. I will be doing a separate video on this later before I take off, but we need to talk about it because I'm a little riled up about it. Comics Division, can you tell? I'm riled up.
Dude, you're on fire, man.
And we need to talk about why Captain Marvel and Brie Larson are the single most protected actress in IP I have ever seen. And we need to really maybe get into the weeds why these two people, this IP and this actress and this agenda is so protected by competing companies. Why would I know it's Netflix's movie, but it goes deeper than that. She wouldn't have had that movie and directed it if she wasn't in Captain Marvel. That got her the gig. Let's be real. Come on. We'll talk about this because there's this rumor out there. I don't know if it's true or not. It might be true. It might be a fact that she's got a 7-picture deal with the MCU.
Yeah, I heard something like it was like 8 or something, but
Jesus.
Well, yeah, they're making her the next Tony Stark in the MCU, so it quote unquote makes sense. It doesn't make sense to have her because she's such a terrible. I won't say she's a terrible actress. She's not good for that role.
She's not. And then they've OP'd Captain Marvel, and I'll do it when I get back, but I have I have all my official handbooks of the Marvel universes, the updated versions, the old versions from the 80s. And I will tell you how powerful Carol Danvers was and Captain Marvel and Binary and how they've overpowered her. And when you overpower a superhero and you don't give them flaws, it's basically boring. She could probably beat Dr. Manhattan at this point. So, but she doesn't have a big blue wang. So
yeah. But I don't know. I don't know if she could take him out, but you never know.
Slay Queen.
Apparently,
if you say that, you get your count locked. So
really
on Twitter, I'll read the article. I skimmed it, but it's the guy either had to like shut down his account because he got so bullied, or he got it locked down. But we'll read it together. Of course, I get the lion's share of our news here on Nerdrotic from Bleeding Fool, Bounding into Comics, and a little bit from Cosmic Book News.
Wow,
because
those are the exact same sources I use.
yeah, well, they have filled a need, and we were talking about this when we were live streaming on your channel. Like, we need some websites that either just are in the middle, or are not
Mhm.
access media and don't care about getting passes or anything. And it clearly none of these people do, which is good for them. What should be the top thing on your mind when you have a platform is satisfying your audience and getting as much audience in there. And that doesn't seem to be the priority of a Sci-Fi Wire or a IO9, or they don't care.
They used to be like that, though.
They
Long
did.
time ago.
I remember. I mean, like, IO9 has always been IO9, but I remember reading it a few years back, and it just wasn't as bad as it was now. But it's because all this stuff has been forced in to our mass market entertainment, and it's forcing us to talk about it. And now we, if every single individual is not represented in some form, somebody's offended. Hey, where's the middle age recovering alcoholic in sorry, there is one in the MCU, but okay, crank addict in the MCU. Oh no, they really didn't go over Tony Stark's alcoholism very much. They dabbled in it.
Not in
and
the
then
MCU. I mean, it seemed like they were trying to do it with Iron Man 2, but they didn't at all. They didn't go there.
No, they clearly changed direction when
they played it safe.
Yeah, it's probably smart. Who knows?
I don't know, man. I think that if they did Demon in the Bottle for Iron Man 3, that probably would have been a far more interesting movie.
I agree. Well, that would have explained, and you would have had your built-in excuse, is PTSD from the attack on New York, and he hit the bottle hard, and Pepper started noticing, but nobody said anything, and then he goes out, as Iron Man,
loaded.
Well, he kind of does that. I mean, when he pees in his suit in Iron Man 2. So I mean, they dealt with it a little bit, but they could have dealt with it a lot more, in my opinion. All right, so let's get to the chat here a little bit, and I'm going to be trying something different because, like I said, I'm testing out my laptop so I can live stream from where I'm going. Tony is a fun drunk. I used to be a fun drunk for the first day. Is that your dog in the background? I heard you.
Yeah, that's my dog. My wife just let him in, and now he wants to go out. It's like, you're stuck in here, dude.
Yeah,
he's staring at me like, let me out, motherfucker.
Hell no. Hell no. So, we've got that to talk about. We need to talk about, you sent me an article about IDW, which was pretty interesting.
It's crazy.
So we'll talk about that as well, but let's go to the chat a little bit while people roll in, shall we? Be careful talking about Captain Misogyny for Strike 2. Mine for lease. Yes. Thank you for the $2 super chat. And I won't be careful. If they strike us down for that, we will become more powerful than you could possibly imagine, or not, or we'll have to start another channel. But we've already got that going just in case. We got a backup. It would suck. Don't get me wrong, but we got a backup.
Yeah.
Robert Smith retracted his message. It was probably lyrics for the next Cure album. That's what I predict. Okay, so Devastated Studios. Phew, I thought we were going to ask where the alcoholic was in the chat. No, your secrets are safe here. We're kind of like Vegas. Except for all the other people who are going to watch this later. But they're not going to say anything either. Everybody knows snitches end up with stitches.
Big time.
Captain Breville, Brie plus evil. Thank you, Pop Dart Gun. Superpower equals death smile with lipstick. Yes. And if y'all haven't seen Ivan Ortega's recut of Avengers Endgame trailer, please watch it, because there's a little surprise at the end. It's great. What the hell? What was that?
That's my dog. He makes funny sounds.
Dang. That sounded like, are you sure that's your dog and not like somebody you kidnapped or something you don't want anybody to know about? Help me! Help me!
No. The slave dungeon is downstairs.
Gary, your thumbnail put a new meaning to Friday Night Tights. Oh, it does. I feel oh so pretty. Oh, so pretty. I should totally.
That's a great thumbnail, by the way.
Thank you. Somebody made that for me. So, yeah, my oldest son.
Oh,
My
no,
oldest
no way.
son,
That's
yeah, hooked
awesome.
that up for me. Yeah, he's fun. He's a funny guy. My oldest son. He's got a good sense of humor. Mr. Twisted 72, thank you for the $5 super chat. Welcome back. Yeah, I guess I should address that for anybody. You know what? Some people who weren't paying attention when I don't expect you all to pay attention to my every move. I got a copyright strike. I lost my live streaming ability for about 48 hours. And it was over in an old podcast that I did with Dennis on September 18th, 2017 that exactly 135 people watched. Probably not for the whole thing either. And it was unlisted, but it was in a playlist. So it's visible. Your unlisted videos are visible in a playlist, of course. And the reason I did that is so you could still watch it on the website because I linked it through the website. So
Makes sense.
there's a company in Spain that uses bots that kind of just throws them out there, and it's to detect pirated software or copyright content on YouTube. The only thing I used was some still images. I still don't know which one was the offender. Appealed it. Everything's cool. Everything's cool.
How
Everything's
do they
cool.
detect pirated software in a video?
I don't know if they're detecting it in a video, if it's used for detecting pirated software and copyright stuff in a video. That's what I think it is. Actually, Mecha Random got hit by them a year ago, and she said, and this is just I'm paraphrasing what she said. In her opinion, to protect her, in her opinion, in my opinion, it sounds kind of like a company trying to show off a little bit to maybe earn some money, maybe be somewhat of a scam, in my opinion. Anything that's monetized can be scammed. We all know this.
Yes.
So there's no reason to think that people won't weaponize or scam people for copyright money. The biggest, I'm waiting for like extortion, like, well, if you give us $100, we'll remove it. Now, if they get caught doing that, but if they're not in our country, there's not much we can do about it. And of course, I wouldn't give them money. I'd just go,
Screw you.
fight it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it's like it sounds like in a weird sort of way, ransomware.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And maybe that's what they based it on. You're the tech
for
guy,
those
I'm
of you
not.
who are not familiar with ransomware, it's basically where you get a virus that locks your computer and then you get a ransom message saying, if you pay us this amount of money, we will unlock your computer.
Damn.
Yeah.
Cold-blooded, I tell you, these people. All right, so let's get to the super chat here, and I got to blow this up because I'm blind. Philimax, hey Gary, always love to see you live streaming. What is up, my friend? Australian $2. I appreciate it. Oh, for one, okay, I need to acknowledge Caleb. I'm just going to use the first name, Caleb.
Okay.
Caleb is a very kind soul with a huge heart, and PayPal'd me on my first live stream on Nerdrotic Live $750.
Holy smokes, that's
Yeah.
very generous.
And there was just no way in hell I could have taken. Sorry, I took like a day to refund it because I was just spacing on it, but I had never intended to keep it. And I refunded Caleb with a huge thank you, and I just said I gave Caleb a shout out because that's the fandom menace. That is awesome. And I don't want to tell Caleb what to do with the money, but any like $5, $10, $20, awesome, great. Yes, it keeps the lights on. 750, like donate it. If you ever want to donate, let's see if I have my prop here. Oh, I do. My favorite charity is Autism Speaks. So that's a good charity to donate to, or keep it and spend it. It's your money, dude. Party, have fun. Life is for playing. But Caleb, thank you so much. And the Fandom Menace, thank you. All the support I got from Jeremy and Anna and Ethan and Jeff and Odin's movie blog. Anti-Trekker reached out to me. That Umbrella guy reached out to me, like, and dude, he's got it way worse than I do. And you know, he's been doxxed and stuff. And
yeah,
so
Tug's gone through a lot of shit. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, but he's fighting back. Tug's tough motherfucker. So
yeah, he is.
That's why we like Tug. Everybody who reached out, Doomcock shouted me out, and just know that I would. Hopefully I don't have to do the same for everybody, but I would. And hopefully I can repay the favor in like a positive way instead of, you know, strikes coming down or something like that. But yeah, just overwhelmed and grateful that I have you know, you Comics Division and everybody here. You guys are brilliant. So we're glad to be back. Can't stop the signal. And the other channel is staying up. We're gonna do fun. It's gonna be all live, and we're gonna do kind of our free flow Exozone stuff there, and covering TV shows I wouldn't cover here over there. So yeah, it's gonna stay up. You know, God, it hit 4,000 hours in a day.
Damn,
and
that's awesome.
Yeah. And it like went over 5,000 subs. So you guys are amazing. You're amazing. Like I said, you even impressed Mrs. Nerdrotic, which is I don't think I've done in the last 5 years or so. Bionic belly button, $5. We'd like to know who you shaved to prepare for that thumbnail pic. Who I well, who I or what? Okay, I read that wrong. Let me read it again. We'd like to know what you shaved to prepare for that thumbnail pic. For $5, you really know what you really want to know what I shaved. I will use a line from a movie. There's nothing like a shorn scrotum. It's really quite breathtaking.
Dr. Evil, no doubt, one of the best movie villains ever.
Yes. And when he, I'll pull it up later when he's like, tell me about yourself. Well, I was born in, you know, it's really funny. I can't remember it right now.
Something about meat hats. In the summer, we'd make meat hats or something like that.
Yes. Hang on. All you have to do is, well, no. Maybe I should put Austin Powers with Googling shorn scrotum.
Yeah, that might be bad.
It gets images.
I always like the one from Goldmember when it's like smoking a pancake, piping a crepe, something. There's no pleasing you.
I love gold. The details of my life are quite inconsequential. Very well. Where do I begin? My father was a relentlessly self-improving Bulgarian owner of a owner from Belgium with low-grade narcolepsy and a perchance for buggery. My mother was a 15-year-old French prostitute named Chloe with webbed feet. My father would womanize, he would drink, he would make outrageous claims that he invented the question mark. Sometimes he would accuse chestnuts of being lazy. The sort of general malaise that only a genius possesses, and the insane lament. My childhood was typical. Summers in Rangoon, luge lessons. In the spring, we'd make meat helmets. That's right. When I was insolent, I was placed in a burlap bag and beaten with reeds. Pretty standard, really. At the age of 20, I received my first scribe. At the age of 14... I forgot this part. Why would he talk about at the age of 12, I received my first scribe. At the age of 14, a Zoroastrian named Vilma ritualistically shaved my testicles.
I have to give major props to Mike Myers for knowing about Zoroastrianism.
Zoroastrianism is hard to pronounce, but it is one of the oldest and coolest religions and philosophies or whatever. It's pretty cool. And it goes right into that ancient aliens theory. But let me finish. There really is nothing like a shorn scrotum. It's really breathtaking. I highly suggest you try it. It's old, but it's good. Come on.
It's great.
All right. Thank you so much, Bionic Belly Button. Mind for Less, $5. You Mid-Edge Harpy 42, Mid-Edge Harpy 42, that Star Wars girl, should all start a media company, be less reliant on YouTube, and you guys would kill it. Exclusive nerd news. You know,
My dog approves.
Your dog agrees. That's something. It's something we could definitely think about. God, I could get into the weeds on that all day long. Before any of us did that, we'd have to watch all the Mr. Medicare's entire series on Channel Awesome, which I have watched. And I highly recommend anybody who wants to create content watch that. It's highly it's funny as hell. But and I know I know Mr. Medicare and what his deal is, but it's actually very educational. It is to watch. Yeah, there's a lot of mistakes made there. How he found out about all that stuff, I'll never know. But it's a big cautionary tale. But it is possible. It absolutely is possible. We just did a live stream on Odin's channel. We all get along. But if the thing is, though, when I've just, in my experience, taking on partners, collaborating is tough. It's tough. And I'm sure everybody would say the same thing. It's would be like being in a band. And even when you get along, a band, Sting said it himself, 5 years. That's the very few bands make it past that. So, and believe me, I was in a cover band that did, we covered Johnny Cash and we did surf covers of punk rock songs, and we could barely get along. So, it's Lloyd, $5, a scam. No way. Now take my money. Thanks, Lloyd. You're awesome. Nicholas Horton, £2. The MCU completely changed the Mandarin. Thumbs down.
Yeah.
Before we get to the next super chat, I want to ask you this. Do you feel that the MCU, because it's mostly been good, a lot of stuff has been overlooked? And do you think we'll get these articles in a couple of years like the MCU is not as good as you remember? And
probably, I mean, I think there's a lot of things that I won't say I've given a pass to. There's actually a lot of movies I've criticized. Like, I'll probably get a lot of hate for this, but I did not love Thor 3. I thought that there was parts about it I enjoyed, but overall I felt it was a pretty crappy movie. So my whole thing is like, yeah, most all the Thor movies are not that great. Iron Man 2, I didn't even see that in the theater. I ended up watching it maybe on Netflix or something. I don't remember where I watched it. The third one I saw in the movie, I thought it was okay. It definitely had a lot of flaws. And I stick by this, that the Captain America movies are the best ones in the MCU.
Oh, by far.
A lot of what makes the MCU good is the fact that they have a lot of good actors and the characters are done very well. And I think as a moviegoer, I can be very forgiving on a movie that sucks if it has a good cast and a lot of chemistry. And I always mention Suicide Squad. Crappy movie. The plot was just complete garbage, but it had a really good cast and they meshed well together. So, I'm nowhere near as harsh on it like I am with Captain Marvel, because, the only thing that was really great about that movie was Sam Jackson. Brie Larson was terrible in that movie. And therefore, if they gelled better and she had a lot of chemistry, I could probably be a lot more forgiving of that movie, but I can't because she sucked.
Yeah, you're nicer to me. I didn't like Sam Jackson in it. I hated the fact that they deliberately picked him so they could depower the Mac Daddy of the MCU.
Well, yeah,
I'm always saying, because
I'm always saying I liked it because it's Sam Jackson. He's a good actor. He did the best he could with what he was given, in my opinion. But I completely agree with you about
what's wrong with the word no. What is wrong with the word no? I mean, this is the kind of thing that if it happened to an actor in the 80s and 90s, they would have told the MCU to F off.
I don't know, man. I guess contract.
There's contracts can be broken. Listen, that's how powerful Disney is. I'm telling you, there's many times, God, Why the hell do you think Michael Keaton didn't play Batman for the third time and stuff? He didn't want it. He saw the direction. He's like, I don't want to be part of this. And whether they agree with the agenda or not, the money's good. But I remember Sam Jackson, his contract was up and he was like, they're not calling me anymore. And this is what they called him back for. So, but he was complicit. He did a good job. He's a great actor. That guy could do anything. His commercials are interesting. He's a great actor. But it was a deliberate decision. It's so much like Doctor Who. Is like they made certain decisions storytelling wise as political decisions to deliberately send a political message. Story be damned. Half of your audience be damned. And then when we say something, we're toxic.
Toxic fans.
No, toxic.
You're racist and misogynist and sexist and all the isms.
You're an istophobe.
Yep.
Yeah. We have 1057. Keep fighting the good fight. Thank you, my friend. $5 super chat there. Von Doofus, $1.99. Meat helmets. Oh my god. And it's Herman Munster, one of my favorite characters of all time. I really think Nurkish should have kept that avatar as well. What happened to Nurkish, man? What happened?
Oh, dude, that's something we're gonna have to talk about private.
Oh, never mind. I retract the question. Kaz Walker, Canadian, $10. I am a web developer and debating making a Rotten Tomatoes alternative. I own the RottenTornadoesDomain.com. I love that and want to use it for something. Do you think it's worth doing? P.S. Love your channel. Yeah.
Go for it, dude. Go for it.
Absolutely go for it. 100%. And if it fails, it fails. Whatever. A saying that we love to use in our house here. It's on the nose and stupid, but those who try the most fail the most. And I failed a lot just today. But honestly, I started this almost 6 years ago and nobody was watching really until about a year and some change ago. But I stuck with it because it was fun. So as long as you're having fun, it's totally worth it. And I love the Rotten Tornadoes. I think that's a great idea.
That's pretty good.
Just in typos, you're going to get clicks. So Psycho Dwarf 9, $2. What's this say? Rooful. I don't know am I missing something here? Psycho Dwarf, I apologize. I'm kind of frazzled today, to be honest with you. I was packing like right up.
You got a lot going on, man. You have every right to be.
I'm sorry. So explain with that, and I apologize that I'm an idiot. It's probably really funny and clever, and I'm an idiot. So then we have 1057 again. The people who can destroy a thing they control. Welcome to the new age of Disney. Ooh, that was good. I'm applauding.
Yeah, that's really good.
That was really good. Are you on Gab?
Yes, I am on Gab.
Okay, I'm on Gab as well.
Oh,
and I'm going to start using it a little more.
Yeah, I need to start using it too. I have like 2 followers.
I think I have like 41. Oh my God, look at this. Hang on, I got to show you guys this. Now I'm going to be using a different screen, so you're going to see like another nerdrotic thing come in. Just, oh man. Oh God damn it.
You got to
want to hear myself. There we go. Wait, how does that?
You just have to go to the other screen.
There. Jesus. You got to mute yours now because I can hear it.
No, I was saying you have to go and basically turn off audio, mute the mic for whatever device you're logged in as.
I did.
Okay, now you're good.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Because I have to show this picture. That was fucking great. There it is. You got to check out this VW van. It's so cool.
Oh, dude,
awesome.
So it looks like somebody chopped it.
It did. Yeah. I just had to show that off real quick. But there is a quote that I liked on Gab, and I think it's like their default quote or something like that. And I read it last night, and I want to read it again because I like it a lot. It's from Salman Rushdie, and it should be kind of really the moniker of the fandom menace. An attack on our an attack upon our ability to tell stories is not just censorship, it is a crime against our nature as human beings.
That
Salman Rushdie.
is very true.
Yep. It was very, very true.
Because before we had writing, we had storytelling.
Yes. And well, we still do. I mean, that's where myths came from, and they're all probably based on some sort of historic event that we're not aware of. Mark C, $5. Pertaining to Captain Marvel, if you have interstellar travel, what good is a light speed engine? I brought that up.
Yeah, I know that's one thing I didn't talk about in my review, but it was just like that was one thing that didn't sit well with me watching the movie. Was like, why does this not make sense? You know, I mean, they have those gates, they gate in. Why do they need a light speed engine? I mean, it seems like an interstellar empire, and I know that Doomcog already kind of pointed this out. You think an interstellar empire would already have, you know, a faster than light travel engine, FTL,
and it's got to be a lot faster. And Doomcock explained just the time it takes to, and like all you have to do is watch The Expanse. Watch The Expanse, and it'll tell you how long it takes to get around. Christ, The Expanse had to do something drastic in their storytelling. They did something, I didn't like it, but I finally got a really good explanation why they did it, and it makes sense. And it's because, without spoiling anything, it's called The Expanse, which means it expands. The story expands over space and time. So, by the way, dude, the 8th book is amazing. It's amazing. I can't put it down. It's been kind of distracting.
That's
all
good.
right.
That's good.
That's a good point, Mark C. CJ Franks, $5. Say my name, Nerdrotic. Say my name. Say my name. Say my name. CJ Franks. I said it twice. For $5, I'll say it a third time. CJ Franks. At least it wasn't like Phil McCrevis or IP Knightley.
I see Wiener.
Mike Hunt, you know.
Yeah, Michael Hunt.
Hero, oh boy. Hiroshi Scorer. Hiroshi Scorer. Mexican, $50. What if we replace Just a Girl with Sunday Morning from the same album in the fighting scene? Never Kneeling. We could in our head. It's not that I hate No Doubt. I mean, I kind of liked it when it was out there. I like, you know,
but that was so expected. That was just,
oh, I know. Everything they played was so expected, and they could have gone like way deep with, there was a lot of good music in the 90s, a lot of good music, and they played some of it, but not a lot of it. Good point there, Hiroshi. Lonnie Holcomb for $1.99. When are you about to go to Italy? Soon. So soon.
Less than 12 hours.
Yeah. We got, hopefully there won't be too much partying at the casa, because old number one is going to be here with his boys. So last time I came back, shit was broken. I mean, it was clean though. There's just a couple things were broken. I'm like, okay, whatever. At least the house is clean.
You didn't come back to a trashed house. That would
no.
suck.
I just do the dad thing. Is like, is there anything I need to know? Oh, nothing, Dad. I'm on. No. You don't understand. I'm going to ask this question one more time because I'm not going to ask it again. Is there anything I need to know? Do I need to bail a friend out? Or the police going to come to my door? Yeah, like that kind of stuff. Just, you got to tell me. What we can work on reactions later, but I like to be proactive with this stuff. Just because it might have happened to me when I was a kid. Yeah, soon, but it's not going to stop the signal. Maybe for the travel time, but it's not going to. You might get videos in the middle of the night, though. You might, if you're in America. Captain Spire, $10. Sam Jones, Flash Gordon, hell yes. Steve Blum, voice actor, will be here at the 4th at Omaha Comic-Con. After going there every year, I never know what to ask these people. Do these people ever get sick of cons? Ask them.
Yeah.
I'm sure some do, and I'm sure some are grateful that they don't have to work an 8-hour job and they get to travel the country and talk to fans and sign stuff for money. I would not complain about. People see that as a sad existence. I wouldn't. I made something that people remember and love. And no, I didn't win Academy Awards or anything, but I'm remembered and people like me and they're willing to pay money for my stupid signature and I get to travel the country. I'd love that. I would freaking love that and
Yeah.
get it. Yeah, I don't,
Yeah. I typically most celebrities I've met at cons, I just treat them like people.
yeah. I've done that a million. I love going on the autographs and going and talking to Aaron Gray, which I did. I've talked about a million times. And yeah. Lou Ferrigno is an a-hole. Major a-hole.
Yeah, I
Total
kind
a-hole.
of got that when I met him. He
Yeah.
was pretty nice to me. The nicest celebrity I've ever met is Ray Park. That
Ray Park is
guy,
super cool.
oh my God. I mean, I was totally fanboying out. And I left my autograph picture and he comes running up. Hey, you forgot this. I'm like, oh my
Oh,
God.
that's cool.
I'm such an idiot. Yeah, that was really cool. That was him and not like a handler.
So, my little kids saw him, and although and they knew him, of course, as Darth Maul, but also Toad. So
Yes.
when my number one son saw him at Comic-Con, his eyes got all wide, and Ray Park saw that and did a little, little freaking martial arts move
Mhm.
for him and stuff, and they're all, oh, it was, yeah, he was super cool.
Yeah, and the other
Anybody's
thing
cool
too,
with kids.
I love the dude, fellow martial artist, way better than me. Probably he's done it a lot longer than I have.
And listen, oh man, I think he should have been in a lot more stuff. I just think it was, I don't know, he kind of got forgotten after a while. I thought it was really good. For one, I wish they would have used his real voice. I hated that George felt like he had to dub people's voices all the time and stuff. It
Yeah,
looked so
I
weird.
know.
Like Doug Jones, like when they wouldn't use his voice in Hellboy. I challenge you to find, I mean, you could tell the difference, but it's not as much as you would think when Doug Jones used his own voice in Hellboy 2. And it's great. It's fine. Because he's a great actor. Okay. Icon bearer for £5. Do you wonder how Leland got tied up in yes, I brought this up. Did you wonder how Leland got tied up just before he was assimilated? So Leland in Star Trek Discovery basically got assimilated. It's probably the origin of the Borg. They are probably going
Oh,
there. These guys
no.
listen, I think that will actually piss off the last of the Star Trek fans if they go there. I think that will actually, after all this, when you start effing with the next generation, then you're going to start getting to all the Star Trek fans.
Yeah.
So
Well, because
yeah,
I thought the whole thing with the Borg, it all kind of started with V'ger.
that was a rumor out there, but they kind of poo-pooed that.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah, they were just a society that augmented too much, and that was it. There's more to it than that. I don't know it, and feel free to correct me. That's fine. But I would have loved if the V'ger thing was true. That would have been great.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting.
But if this ends up being true, I will revolt. So
Seriously.
Leland got tied up in a scene that he was alone, and he was tied up with like tape or something like that. So somebody had to tie him up, but right after he's tied up, the computer program comes on and goes, "We are isolated in here. Basically, we're alone." Well, then how did he get tied up? I'm not cut. I know, I understand that people think coming from me, it might be hyperbole. Trust me, it is not. I have seen a lot of stupid television. I've seen a lot of really, really stupid television. I'm not lying. Star Trek Discovery is the dumbest show I've ever seen. Star Trek should not be dumb. Star Trek's supposed to be smart. And it's not all the time. It's not all the time, but this is dumb all the time. It's like, take it to the bank. I'm guaranteed to be able to find some good material in a Star Trek Discovery episode. I was laughing by the end of it. I was laughing. It was just laughably bad. Yeah. It's so dumb. Philimax, Australian $5 relating to Disney. They can quote Microsoft's mantra: embrace, extend, extinguish.
Well, another thing too, back on the whole Star Trek thing, and this has been kind of my problem ever since Enterprise. Star Trek should always be about going forward, not about going backwards. And I saw Dave Cullen's video about that, which I completely agree with. But even back then, when they announced Enterprise, I was like, they should have done something else. It's so difficult to pull off a prequel.
I totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no reason to do it. But they did it deliberately, again, for the same reason they put Sam Jackson in Captain Marvel. They did it deliberately so they could insert themselves in the original canon, so they could politicize the original canon, and so they and then the production company who was making the stuff, so they could for lack of a better term, almost guarantee their job. Now nothing's guaranteed, and it looks like they're going to be on their way out, but they did enough damage. And it was intentional. It was everything there was intentional.
Absolutely.
It
was.
Martin Green says it. She says it in the interviews in the Blu-ray. She's like, everything was deliberate.
That's
God,
ridiculous. That's dumb.
So Nunya Business for $2 asks a good question. Best superhero that no one knows. Best superhero that no one knows.
Good question.
I got to think about that one for a minute. I mean, like, listen, everybody saw Guardians of the Galaxy. My first reaction would have been probably Adam Warlock is one of the best superheroes no one knows. But if it's a superhero,
I can think of definitely comic books that are really good that nobody knows about.
Oh yeah, but I don't know if there's like a superhero in them.
Yeah.
I'll say Dark Legion, my superhero, the one I made up. He's awesome in my head. Trust me. I don't think he'll ever see the light of day, but he's awesome in my head. But I'll get back to that question because I'm sure that's a great question, though, Nunya. I could answer with Nunya Business, but I wouldn't do that because it'd be way too on the nose. I don't know. What do you have one, or do you want to think about it?
Actually, I gotta throw this out there because this is what I've been currently reading. I'm gonna throw out Miguel O'Hara, which is Spider-Man 2099.
That's a good one. I'm gonna say. I gotta. We'll continue. I'll think about it because. Okay, Shaolin Cowboy. Shaolin Cowboy. It's a great comic. Great comic. Nobody knows what the hell it is. It's a comic book company that was started by the Wachowski brothers
when they were brothers.
And they made two titles. One drawn by Jeff Darrow, and it was called Shaolin Cowboy. Shaolin Cowboy is largely mute, but he has a jackass that he rides around the Old West that is very talkative and wears an accountant's visor. And he one time killed like 50 people with a crab. It's a really weird comic, and the art is beautiful. But there was also Doc Frankenstein, which is great. And it's the Frankenstein monster come back in the future where basically Christianity has taken over the world. At the time, it was okay. Honestly, I think that's such low hanging fruit with the Christian organizations as a villain. I don't think it would play very well now, to be honest with you. And you know, it like the art was good, but the story was a little meh on that one. Like they had fighter jets with crosses on them, and all the bombs had crosses. It's like, oh
yeah, God, that's okay. A little ham-fisted.
Yeah, very ham-fisted. I mean, it's like that would have played well like in the 80s. You know, when the PMRC thing was going on. And
yeah. I mean, there's definitely a time and place for that.
Like now, it doesn't really play very well. But Shaolin Cowboy is the shit.
For me, comic wise, that probably no one has ever heard of, and I love it. I don't know if it's still running. It's called The Damned, and my pitch for it is, it's demons that are gangsters in the 1920s.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Skid Mark 7, $2. Thank you for what you do. You are welcome. Thank you very much for being here. Arthur Gonzalez, $1.99. We need a Star Blazers movie. Nerdrotic rules. We have one. There's a live action one, Battleship Yamato. I've seen it. It's pretty good. It's a Japanese made movie. It's pretty good. It's okay. I mean, the Star Blazers rules. I love it. As a matter of fact, I've been talking about it so much that I went and I bought it on DVD. So and I'll be honest with you, I haven't seen it in years. But yeah. 1057 cons over and over can get old after you've spoken to 20,000 people for 5 or 6 times. It's no big deal. 20 plus years of DEFCON may have jaded me though. Listen, I'm right there with you, my friend. I have been going to comic conventions regularly for over a decade now, and when I was at the store, I was going to multiple a year. Believe me, I'm 100% over retailing at a con. I could have come back and retailed at a con at any time, and I just like finding the desire. But now that the channel is doing well, I have a whole new way of thinking of it. Like now I want to go back out. I do. Because I love the talking to people part. I hated the breaking down my booth when the con, because when the con opens, you got a couple days. You can kind of, when the con closes, you got like 6 hours to get everything out of there. And at Comic-Con, that is a goddamn nightmare. People, and like, it's not just us, everybody's screaming at everybody, and it's just not a fun experience at all. Mr. Twisted 72 $2. BC, a friend asked Wonder Woman versus because a friend asked Wonder Woman versus Captain Marvel, who wins? Wonder effing Woman.
Absolutely.
Every single time.
Not just better movie, but better character.
Better character, and she can go toe to toe with Soups. So, you know.
Hey, in Superhero Beatdown, she took down Wolverine.
And that's hard to do. I mean, not that Wolverine's that strong. He's just really, really impossible to kill.
Yeah.
So,
well, she figured out to dump him in a volcano.
Yeah. That's brilliant. Mary Freeman. Hi, Mary. How are you? Welcome back. $5. Have you seen the meme Deadpool saves the MCU? It has a picture of Deadpool pointing a gun at Captain Marvel head. Oh my God. That is the greatest meme ever. I need to find that right now. I'll get to the chat in a second here. Oh shit. We do have some articles to talk about.
Yeah. And also Wonder Woman she's actually a superhero. You know, she does things to help people.
Things. Yeah.
Yeah. And has personality. Oh, Grimjack. That sounds familiar.
Grimjack does sound familiar. The meme is not up on Google yet. I'll find it, but that's my favorite meme now. I love it. Thank you, Mary. Jonathan Frost. I feel like there are people making sci-fi fantasy that hate the genres, like they are trying to destroy it all on purpose. That's it. Because the hero's journey is part of the patriarchy. It symbolizes the patriarchy because the patriarchy likes it, because men like it, because it's misogynist, because it's masculine. You want to just add every word. The hero's journey needs to be deconstructed. They have been trying for years. Honestly, the deconstruction of the superhero, and listen, I'm trying to sell people on Doom Patrol. It's a great show, but it's still the deconstruction of a superhero. It's done in a different way. But honestly, I'm liking it. I'm watching it. I'm like, I don't know if I can sell this to people anymore because people are tired of this shit. People are fucking over the deconstruction of a superhero. How about we reconstruct the hero? And we can reconstruct it with anybody, but like, you know, listen, Captain Marvel could have worked. It could have absolutely worked.
Absolutely.
And Doctor Who could have worked with a female doctor, but they chose the easy way out. And yeah, it was easy. We'll just go, hey, we'll hit all the right agenda points. Yeah, we'll piss off some of our artists, but we'll audience, but we're going to make the right people happy. So it's a good trade-off. That's what they think.
The right people.
I know. The chosen people happy. Yeah, they're so dead wrong on that one though. And you know, that's good. And the beauty of social media is we are getting to producers and actors and actresses now in a way they were insulated from all this stuff, and now they have, direct contact with the fans. Oh, they're toxic. No, you just weren't as great as you thought you were, and we told you. Sorry,
Yeah. That's the funny thing. You're just
When
not, yeah, they're just not as cool as they think they are. And that they always say don't meet your heroes because you'll be disappointed. And it's so true. There's a lot of people, celebrity wise, who I won't say I've looked up to, but I they played characters that I've really liked. Lou Ferrigno being one of them. Yeah. So, but there's been plenty I've met too that have just been really wonderful people. So it's kind of a mixed bag.
Yeah.
Jason Mewes was great. He was really, really fun to talk to and, get an autograph from and hang out with for like 5 seconds.
James Marsders, Spike, was super nice to me and Melissa. It couldn't have been nicer. There's tons of good people I've met. Sarah Douglas, who played Ursa and Superman, was cool. She flirted with me. She was cool as hell, though. She was really, really good, like super cool, like hung out, like took the time. Peter Mayhew. Once I got through the very gruff exterior, because at first it didn't look like it was going to be a good experience. I'll tell you that right now. He was crabby. He was kind of surly guy, but I don't know. I have this kind of, I have this gift that I'm able to get through people like that and kind of like soften them up. And by the end of the day, like we went out to dinner. He gave me his phone number, and this was a long time ago.
Wow,
dude. Yeah, gave me his phone number. Said, I'd love to come back. It's
I met him, I guess like a year or two ago, and I mean I felt bad for him because he's in a wheelchair now. He's
pretty crabby guy though.
Yeah,
very crabby guy.
He was nice. He was very nice to me.
Good.
Yeah,
his wife's super nice. She's tough though. She's like his representation. I don't know if they're still together, but they were.
Yeah.
This was 10 years ago when he showed up at my store, and that was one of those surreal moments. Like, fucking Chewbacca is in my comic store right now. This is not happening. Yeah, it was super cool. But I like RDJ, Robert Downey Jr., somebody I admire greatly. I don't give a shit what his politics are, but what he's survived, like having addiction issues in a place where, when you're talented, so you have all the money, and where people don't tell you no, and you can just get whatever you want and you live and you make it out of that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not just a pampered actor. He's been to prison. He got out. He got himself clean. It's a great story. Okay. Krista Joe, $4.99. Hey, Gary, how do you feel if the MCU failed due to choosing political agenda over storytelling, and the DC franchises finally succeeds avoiding it? How would I feel? Strangely, utterly satisfied. that one company who chose not to do it succeeds and the other one fails. I think that would, if you really hurt Disney financially because of agenda, then then and only then will they get the message. And I know there's a lot of talk of boycotts, and listen, when Doomcock says I'm closing my wallet and I'm not going to, I believe him 100%. When Jeremy says I'm not going to do something, believe him 100%. Some people I don't. I mean, listen, I don't stick to boycotts that much myself. I said I'm not buying another and I didn't technically, but George R. R. Martin, I said I'm not giving you anything until you finish Winds of Winter. Finish the book. I've been patient. I've backed you, but I'm not backing you anymore. Finish the book, dude. Don't go to cons. Don't write in your blog. Every word you write in your blog is a word you could have wrote in the book. But that's neither here nor there. But I said
it's probably done sitting on a shelf and he doesn't feel like publishing it.
Yeah,
until he's ready.
No, I found out. Okay, so he did that Fire and Blood, history book of the Targaryens, which is great. And Mrs. Neurotic got it for me, so it kind of circumvented my ban. But when she buys something, I buy something because it's our money. So I still bought it. I'm like, damn it. But I don't want to help him. And then I found out 2 days ago that I thought he just kind of edited the book and kind of looked at it and said, okay, I sign off it. No, he wrote it. He wrote it. And because they talked about, he's working in the same cabin he finished Fire and Blood. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought he wasn't writing that book. I thought he had two other people writing that book. So he did write that book. and it was basically to appease fans because it's not anything really new. I mean, there's some new information in it, but it's not anything it could have waited. It could have waited until after it wins a winner. So I'm sorry. I'm a little impatient with that. I must sound like one of those entitled fans who spent a bunch of money on this and a bunch of time on it, but I'm entitled to nothing. What's up? A 1057. Yeah, DEF CON is a hacker con. Oh, cool.
Yes, so, I'm familiar with DEF CON.
Where do they have DEF CON?
I want to say it's in Vegas.
Is it secret?
No, it's not.
No, it's in Vegas.
At least that was the one where my friend went to. I had a very good friend who is I wouldn't say well-renowned hacker. It's not like if I was to say his name that people would know him. But yeah, he's pretty well known in certain circles.
Yep. If anybody ever wants to do a meetup in Vegas, I need no excuse to go to that town. I love it. And I don't drink. I gamble a little, but not much. I just like being there. I just like running around, going to shows.
Really? I hate Vegas.
I fucking love it, dude.
It's such a spectacle.
That's what I like about it. It's cheesy Americana at its greatest and everything I love. Yeah, DEF CON is a hacker con, so at least we didn't have to do merch stuff. I can't imagine with all the crap you had to deal with doing the merch at Comic-Con. It was a fucking nightmare, trust me. But you made a lot of money. The trade-off was great. Thank you, 1057. Brian Smart, $2. Great hero, no one knows. Grimjack, First Comics. I know Grimjack. I don't know Grimjack.
I've heard of it. I don't remember what it's about, but I have heard of it.
And 1057 says, I'm one of the organizers of that con. Oh, cool.
Oh, wow.
Well, awesome. Then you're in Vegas, right? Or you're one of the organizers. So you go to Vegas. So we can do a meetup in Vegas sometime. I'm going to Vegas for wedding anniversary. So we'll be there. Me and Mrs. Neurotica will be running around. There's I think it's still there. It's let me check. It's called the Millennium Fandom Bar. And I've talked about it before. It's a sports bar, but it's not a sports bar. It's a nerd bar, but it's like a sports bar. So it's a bar filled with like comic books and shit. Let me see if it's still there. Millennium. I hope it is.
The Millennial Falcon.
It's still there. I know the
awesome.
owner, and I went there for a Game of Thrones viewing party, and I guess this is before, he wasn't that busy that night, and he sat and talked to me and Melissa for an hour, and we just geeked out. And here I can share it. Got way too many windows up though. Hang on. And then we're gonna get to the articles next, folks. There it is.
You probably definitely do that for it to hit your time limit. Well, it looks like we've only been going for an hour, so I guess we're
fine. We're fine.
Yeah, that's good.
I can burn through those easy. So this is it. The Millennium Fandom Bar. It's owned by a guy named Alex. Check him out on Facebook. He's a French guy. He was going to do it here in San Francisco, and it's a bar. It's a little bit. I'm trying to get my directions right. The strip goes east to west, right? Does the strip go east to west? So it's east of the Stratosphere. So it's almost in the hood, but not quite. Right near where I got married. It's like right. That's how we went by the chapel where Melissa and I got married at. We got married by the Grim Reaper on Halloween in 2003. But we've known each other for years and years. So this is a great place. If you're in Vegas, go check it out. They do viewing parties, and Alex is a great guy. That camera's not supposed to be on. Oh, it's not on. Okay, good.
Yeah, right. You only have one camera on. You're good.
I'm confused, Boomer.
Are you having a boomer moment?
Dude, I just live in boomer moments. Drugs, 80s, bad. Will Disney ever do Secret Wars now that they own Fox? Skidmark 7, $5. If they do, it'll probably be like the Spider-Man animated series, fucking Secret Wars. Listen. If they want to do Contest of Champions or Secret Wars, they need to do it right, and they need to have all the superheroes. Now, I wouldn't put it out of the realm of possibility that Chris Evans maybe comes back one more time, or RDJ does somewhere down the line, especially if they're hurting.
Yeah, the lure of money.
But if people do not think, I love Andy Trekker helped me with the strike and everything. I love Andy Trekker. I can some of us can disagree with each other without like hating each other and unsubbing and all that. Like that's not what we do over here in the Fandom Menace. We respectfully disagree, or well, I mean, I won't say respectfully, but we'll disagree. And so Andy Trekker thinks my thoughts on Captain Marvel are wrong and misguided. And I will tell Anti Trekker that nope, my thoughts are exactly they're my thoughts, they're my opinions, and I think they're right. Now, I think any one of my opinions is 100% right? No, of course not. But I think Captain Marvel was absolutely deliberately filled with a very basic form of a feminist message. And actually, like on a kindergarten level, like not real feminism, but stupid feminism. And I think it's filled from beginning to end with an anti-male sentiment.
Yeah.
All right.
That I'll give you. I wouldn't say it's filled with feminism. I think it's more filled with feminist tropes.
Feminist tropes, and that's what I mean. I mean, that's what I just said. It's not real feminism. It's filled with not even hate, digs at men. Like
it's more digs. Yeah,
everywhere. Trust me, folks. I'm doing a breakdown of this. That video will be coming out soon. And it's everywhere. So I'm not wrong about that. And I'm not wrong about the direction the MCU is going. All you have to do is look at the casting of the Eternals, look at what they're going to be doing with the Eternals. Okay, Spider-Man Homecoming, it had shades of that stuff in there. It certainly did. And you don't think Far From Home is going to have that as well?
Yeah. I honestly only recall one thing from Homecoming, and that was like the whole thing with the Washington Monument. That one obviously leapt out. I didn't really kind of get anything else off that movie other than like that. Well, that one moment and her character.
She's supposed to be in SJW.
Yeah,
like, straight up.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll see if they. Don't be surprised, folks. Don't be surprised. I could be wrong.
Well, if you saw the trailer where she makes the comment about, oh, well, because I'm beautiful, I suddenly have value, and he's kind of like, she's like, oh, I'm screwing with you, and it's like, yeah, I mean, you have that stuff in there. Yeah, it's kind of a joke, but that definitely made me go, that stood out.
Well, they put it in the damn trailer.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, it does stand out when they put it in the trailer. I hope that listen, I hope the MCU comes out great. I hope the Eternals are great. I want there to be a Secret Wars. Yes, I would love to see that. But seeing all the superheroes fight together.
I'm going to disagree, man. I don't want to see it because I don't want to see it get ruined.
Well, maybe they won't ruin it. Maybe if they can do like a tempered down version of it like Civil War, because Civil War wasn't anything like Civil War.
Yeah, but I just don't want it to get ruined by SJW politics.
Well, if it does, then I will make content. I mean, that's fine.
Yeah.
But if we get something that's good, then we get something good. Will they try it?
Well, yeah, we kind of win either way, don't we? With either it being content, we get content out of it, or we get a good movie. That's true.
Yeah, no lie. I think they will eventually try it, to answer the question. Absolutely. Unless the thing crashes and burns. Here's my disappointment that I can tell you right now, this will be a disappointment of mine in Endgame unless they do this. I want to see the heroes fighting together in their costumes that they wear in the comic books, or at least a reasonable facsimile. And then I will be satisfied if we have, because that's what I've been waiting for. And I think a lot of us have been waiting for, is that big battle scene where all the heroes are. We kind of got that in Infinity War, but like I'm fully expecting that. Not just the original 6. I mean, everybody back from the dead. And the thing is, they can't all be just fighting Thanos. They got to fight other things. So I hope there's some minions or something. They're going to, the Chitauri or whatever.
Yeah. But then actually seeing Captain America in his outfit would be great, because as much as it was great to see Cap again, it wasn't truly Cap.
No,
it was more.
It hasn't been in a while, and then they're in their quantum suits all together. I'm like, that's not it. That doesn't do it for me. They need to be in their costumes. So here, and then while I was thinking about this in the gym today, the worst thing came across my mind ever. I'm like, oh no. I mean, I'm going to tell it to you because it really could ruin everything.
Oh,
So
do
say they
tell.
the movie is about repeating their battles with Thanos and going through time and having to fix certain things to be able to eventually get to the point where they're going to have to defeat Thanos. And they keep going, like, so they try a couple scenarios and it doesn't work, and everybody ends up dying, and they get to like live, die, repeat. I'm not saying this is going to be it. This is just went through my head, and if they did this, I'd scream. And they find out that the X factor that they needed all along was Captain Marvel. Tell me you can't see that happen.
Yeah, and I knew exactly where you were going to go with this.
So that is making her instrumental in the defeating of Thanos, and that is cheap. That is a cheap cop out that will, I'm sure, satisfy the normie MCU fans going, oh my God, okay. And then they'll forget about it the next day. But for those of us who've really invested time in comics and everything, and this is what we've been waiting for. And let's face it, we've got the MCU at the cost of comic book retailing. We paid a heavy price for this, so it better be somewhat satisfying. And I just don't think it will be. I think it's
well. The other thing too, I'm kind of concerned about is the fact that they're still making changes to the damn movie. They are still filming stuff.
Yep.
That concerns me. That concerns me a lot.
I think they're putting in the stinger. I think they're putting in the stinger of X-Men and Fantastic Four, because they couldn't until last Wednesday. So, but yeah, word on the street is there's still stuff being filmed. That must be well, they must have it all edited and they know what they want to insert and they can do it. So
sorry, I was reading a comment to me about someone is requesting that I stop with the damn koalas in the rain song.
No in my videos. Koalas in the rain. No fucks given. I think it's hilarious.
I do too.
Okay, let's go. Jonathan Frost, $5. 2 rumors, not sure if you've said, but Disney is making a Marvel Illuminati movie and an Eternals movie. An Illuminati movie with Black. That would be actually pretty damn cool. Now that they have the Fantastic Four, they can do it. But that would mean they would have to get RDJ for one more movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say they would still need to have Stark.
But you know what? If he survives Endgame and you want to reset the table, that means they would have to do Secret Invasion, which means the Skrulls would have to be evil, which I guess technically they could still do. Doctor Strange. Well, for one, they'd have to put a woman in there too, because there was no women in the Illuminati.
That's right. They're all men.
They can't have that. But it was Professor X, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Namor, Iron Man, Reed Richards, and am I forgetting somebody? I don't think so.
Doctor Strange.
I said Doctor Strange.
Yeah, okay, all right. I just missed it.
So they'd have to mix that up a little bit, I'm sure, because
they would need to add Namor. Namor was a part of it, right?
Everything, buddy. Yeah. Can't wait to see Namor. Okay, so Baptist 702, 500 yen. What comic book writers or styles do you recommend in regards of X-Men, Fantastic Four, Avengers? Also, do you have any favorite literary writers? I do. Douglas Adams and J.R.R. Tolkien, Roger Zelazny. I mean, Zelazny doesn't do the classics, but the Nine Princes of Amber was good shit. And James S.A. Corey, who is Ty Frank and Dan Abrams, who do The Expanse. Writer, I'm old school when it comes to Fantastic Four and the X-Men. I'll give you the same artist, John Byrne. Writer for X-Men, of course, Chris Claremont. For Fantastic Four, John Byrne. The Avengers. I think the sweet spot for the Avengers for me is issues. Honestly, anything with this is going to be a broad range, 100 to 250. Pick anything. I love it all. I really do. But if you want to go a little earlier, go to the Kree Skrull War, but that's you'll have to get trades for that. But Modern Avengers run. Who was writing them for Marvel now? Comics. I'm forgetting his Hickman. It was Hickman.
Hickman.
Yeah, Hickman's run on Avengers was great. Right when I sold the store. Malik.
Was that the Incursion Crisis?
Yes.
Yeah,
Marvel now. Yeah,
that was a really good storyline, and unfortunately that led up to the event that kind of fucked modern Marvel.
I didn't watch. I didn't read the end of it, so I got the beginning of Marvel now, and
well, it went to
my shop.
It led into the Secret War. That's what basically the Incursion Crisis ended with, and that's where basically Doom kind of holds everything together and from collapsing. And that's also where the reason why Reed Richards and the Fantastic Four have been absent for so long is because after Doom kind of admits that, Reed's the better man, Reed goes and fixes his face, and that's where he becomes infamous Iron Man in his series for a bit. But yeah, I mean that's really the event that led up to the SJW Marvel taking over.
Yep. There, and this is for a podcast for another day, but an argument can be made for benching your superheroes for a few years and bringing them back.
No, absolutely. And
they did it with Thor, and it worked. It really worked. So
yeah, there's lots of things that they could have done right.
Well,
part of the issue was was how they were replacing people. It's like, I like Falcon. Falcon is a great character, but the idea of him having that shield with the wings doesn't work. If you think about not just the aesthetics, but
no, how replace the character, not with not at all. No, you bench the character like Thor after Avengers disassembled and Thor died in the Ragnarok. He wasn't around. He was just gone, and they didn't bring him back till Civil War, and then it turned out to be fake at first, and then Straczynski's run came, and it was great, but they had benched him for like 3 years. There was no Thor at all, and it was great. I mean, like, it sucked, but it was great. It really helped the character. Keeps you from burnout. And listen, if you just replace it with another character, it doesn't always work. With some it does. With Thor, no. Malik, heartbreak therapist, Australian $2. You ever wank over your figurines? Well, do I ever wank over well, not over them, no, because they're on the wall. Just to them, maybe. No, I don't. I'm a happily married man. Wanking is not necessary. Andrei Vlasov for $5. How screwed up would it be if the last sentence of the series was, and then Jon Snow woke up? And he was still a bastard. Well, he still is a bastard anyway.
That's kind of like people's theory for like Walking Dead, and then Rick Grimes woke up.
Yep, exactly. Well, I mean, like, listen, when I dipped out of Walking Dead, and I guess Kirkman said this early on, but I had never heard it because I didn't pay attention. So I'm reading Walking Dead, and then I heard somewhere that Kirkman said, I'm never going to tell you where the zombies came from. I'm like, well, then I don't give a fuck about the story. I mean, like, am I supposed to like these characters? Because I don't. So, I mean, it was a great book for a long time. It needed to have an ending. It was like one of those that should have probably ended at issue 100 or something like that. Sandman had an ending. Preacher had an ending. Transmetropolitan ending. Fables ending. Yeah, that's what makes them good.
Well, I think that's one thing that any story that you do, even if it's a long running series, you have to have an exit plan that you work up to. Because part of the issue, I mean, and look at The Simpsons as a great example of that. It's been on for 30 years, and in my opinion, I haven't watched it in a long time. I happened to catch last Sunday's episode, which was like Simpsons went really fucking woke.
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah,
you should probably do a video on it.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah,
I should.
Yeah, you should. A little bit of advice. Anytime, like, I'll say this out here, save your best stuff for your best platform. So if you're like about to fire up this awesome tweet, I want you to think about it. If you're a content creator, it's like, should I save this for a video? The answer is yes. Don't waste your stuff on Twitter. Twitter's great if you only got one line, but if you got something there you can make 5 minutes out of, make it a video. You get your point across better too.
Yeah,
I think you should
definitely
totally make a video on that. 100%. Not telling you what to do, but do it.
No, it's fair. It's fair.
Um, no, because I've done that. I've like there's a couple of videos that were going to be tweets, and they turned into videos, and it worked out. Yeah, Malik. No, now, but my action figures do wake up at night and run around and party and stuff.
They plot against him.
They plot. Yeah, I'm gonna wake up like tied to the.
Yeah, floor. I know. I was gonna say, do you ever, wake up like Gulliver's Travels where you're tied down and you have your action figures all around you?
Nerdrotics Travels, or lack of travels. Skidmark 7, $10. With the popularity of the MCU, will there be a resurgence of Marvel superheroes games? A game from the 80s. If it stays popular, which it can. Okay, like listen. I've said it before, say it again, and I'm sure you feel the same way, Comics Division. There's some stuff where we see the content coming and we're all, I get to make a video on this. The MCU is not something I feel that way about. I do not want to make the MCU has gone SJW videos. That's not going to be fun. The crap that we're getting already is, I mean, we could take it, but it's something to behold. It is so much. It's so much more amped up than any backlash I've gotten for Doctor Who or anything like that.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than watching something you care about burn to the ground.
Yep,
that's the thing that really kind of sucks about it, and that's like it. Be it Star Trek or Doctor Who, Star Wars, Marvel. It's really kind of depressing. And the big thing I know that Tom Brevoort, who is one of the big editors of Marvel, he's like an angry fan is an engaged fan. It's like, yeah, to the point where they just get tired of it and they're not angry. They're just apathetic.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. So 1057 says Captain Marvel was the most expensive Scott Pilgrim fanfic I've ever seen. That is so spot on. I gotta admit something. It's like, so I've never liked the book. Never liked Scott Pilgrim, the book. But I liked the movie because it was Edgar Wright. But
yeah,
you got to think that was Ramona Flowers, SJW, Patient Zero,
because of the colored hair.
Yeah, just the way she acts, and Renfimus does kind of base her look on her and everything, and
that's a good question, man. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. I'd have to go rewatch it to really be able to give you a good answer.
Well, I mean, that stuff was starting long before that movie came out, but the book, just it's something to entertain. I'm not saying it's a fact. It's a thought that hit my head. Justin Poor, Australian, $10. G'day, Gary. It's called Toxic Feminism. Whatever happened to men are from Mars and women are from Venus? Today's feminists don't want equality. They want to rip your scrotum and make you eat it. Australia.
We love it. Well, the other thing too is that they don't want equality. They want supremacy. That's the issue.
That's exactly it. They've made Star Trek Discovery. They've made the Federation a matriarchy. So that's clearly. There's almost a sentiment, not almost, there's a sentiment out there of like, it's our turn now to run things.
Yeah.
And I am firmly in the belief, I guess, is it called I don't know. Egalitarianism, where we're just the best person and men and women run stuff together equally.
Yeah. Well, it's not even like the idea of, everything being equal. There's a difference between equality and equity. And the problem that we're seeing now is the whole equity movement. It's not about equality. It's about getting these ratios right. And that's the thing that people, feminists always say, well, there's not enough women CEOs. Well, how many are enough for it to be right?
All of them.
Yeah. And that's kind of the issue. It's like, no, that's not how it works. We are very different. And I've tossed this out there on Asian, the idea of sexual dimorphism. This is what basically makes, male and females different in species. And there is that also in the brain. It's the reason why men want certain things and women want other things. And the problem is that there's like this huge push to make, men and women more alike, despite the fact that we're just biologically different, brain chemistry wise.
Well, it'd be a lot easier to market to us if we were they wouldn't have to do that's an exozone thing. I can't get into that, not here, but I have lots of theories on this. I have some dark ass theories on this. And
is it Illuminati level shit?
It's Illuminati level shit. But as the father of a son who is on the spectrum, and I've done my fair share of research into why, you want to know why. I'm just not, I don't accept shit. I'm not one of those person who goes, well, eventually you have to, but if there's information out there to be had, I want to find it. And if I feel like I've gotten to the end of my rope, then I go, okay, but might be when I'm dead on this one. And, I just want to know why. I mean, I've accepted the fact that, he's a great kid. I love him. He's totally, and like normal, as far as normal, he's totally normal. I mean, he's just normally weird like me, but you want to know why. You want to know why. And luckily, I have a sponsor who's a men's health physician, and he's given me a lot of information. That's basically his opinion, and it's his theory. But this is an educated man
on what causes autism, or
yeah. And nobody knows. Right. So the knee-jerk reaction is it's the shots. And, but it's most likely food. So that's something to think about. Like, what the fuck are they putting in our food? We're a lot bigger than we used to be.
Oh yeah.
And
well, a lot of that has to do with nutrition.
A lot of that has to do with nutrition, but it might be something else too.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
but we'll get into the exozone. Joel Tamburo, $2. Next will be Woke, Jason Blood, Etrigan film. Yes. It won't be Jason Blood though. It'll probably be Janice Blood. Joel. Hope you're enjoying Genlock, by the way. Also has Michael B. Jordan, Golshfete, I can't even say that, Farani, Dakota Fanning, Asian Kate Dillon, Kari P. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't done anything yet. Let me check that out again, because it's in my little notebook. I also got to show you guys what I got. I got a couple things in my PO box, but ooh, that's cool as hell.
Yeah. I got myself a PO box now as well.
Oh, good. We can.
It's mainly so Google doesn't have my information.
Yeah. Oh, that's super cool. Yeah. I'll do a review on that on Nerdrotic Live, Kari. I'll check it out. I fully intend to check it out. It looks really cool. Odin's movie blog for 10. Dude, you're not supposed to super chat me, bruh. Gary, you are amazing. Thank you so much for what you did earlier. It truly lifted my spirits. Can't wait to listen to this stream back. Smash that like button, people. This dude is freaking rock star. Hey, I'm gonna read an article. You want to jump on, dude? Are you still awake? Let me know if you want to jump on. I'll shoot you the link. And don't send a super chat answering that question. God damn it.
It's kind of like incest, It's like when we start getting one another super chats.
Stop. Jesus Christ, my connection looks like shit. God damn it.
I thought it was my end. My wireless died today, and I'm using the one that's built into the modem.
Yeah, I'm going to be getting new internet, people. This is just ridiculous. Hey, hang on. Hold the fort there. I'm going to make sure Junior's not on. I'm going to go tell him to get off.
You make sure he's not streaming porn.
Why don't you read some chat? Yeah, make sure he's not. Sorry about that, folks. I'll be right back.
Oh, you're actually taking off. Okay. Oh, well, so I'm in charge now. Oh, I have no idea what to talk about, so I'll just kind of ramble on some stuff. Yeah. So what's up, guys? Just at me with the question if you have anything. I know there's super chats. I'm not going to read them. I'm going to have Gary make sure that he goes and reads those. So if you guys want to at me with a question, by all means, please do so. I'll try and think of something random to talk about. There's the whole Jordan Peele thing. I guess I honestly should wait for Gary's input on this one as well, but I'm not sure what your thoughts are about it, but I kind of don't care. Mainly because that's what I would do. It's like, if you're a creative individual, it's like, do your own fucking thing and do what you want. So yeah. Let's see. So Joseph is asking me, what speed internet does Gary have? I don't know. That's a good question. You think that being near the heart of Silicon Valley, that they would have some really good pipes there, but probably not. Let's say Demonic Bioman, sing the koala song. No, I'm not going to sing. I am terrible at singing. I'm pretty bad at it. How is the caddy game going? Terrible, man. Like I said, I'm a terrible caddy. You asked me for a club, and I look at you and say, "Get your own damn club," and then I take a sip of my drink. David Kitty, do I love you? I don't even know you. Let's see. Who's your daddy and what does he do? My daddy is a ball of ashes, actually.
Who is your daddy and what does he do? He's not the tumor.
He's not a tumor.
Not the tumor.
How good is it in Texas this time of year? Like weather-wise, it's not bad. I'm dying because at this point in time, there's a lot of tree jizz coming from the trees, and I'm highly allergic to pollen. What's my favorite food? Oh, dude, I like sushi. I like sushi a lot.
Ugh. Seafood.
You don't like sushi? Not down for the raw fish.
I'm down for the raw fish. All right, folks. So sorry, I apologize that my internet has been crap lately. So I have the gigabit. I supposedly have really good internet, but here in San Francisco, we don't have fiber optic or anything. And we actually have some of the oldest wires, and Comcast was here today replacing everything. So I'm probably going to jump on theirs when I get back. Cause I was telling Comics Division prior to this, before my show, I was looking back at my connection. It just absolutely sucks. And I'm hardwired in. I've got a good machine. I'm on a brand new machine right now. So there's no excuse for this. So I just had to kick my son off the internet. He was watching YouTube, but that shouldn't bother anything. So, but let's get to that Bounding into Comics article here.
Hang on. Let me respond to the
real
quick.
Go ahead.
Hey, yes, actually, I am interested in Good Omens. I read the book a long time ago. Get a review? Yeah, sure, man. I'll think about it. I need to do that as well as start talking about the Orville as well. And it looks like Odin jumped on.
Yeah, I sent Odin the link. And okay, so real quick on Good Omens. I don't know if you all saw that trailer that just came out. Oh my god, it looks great. So we will be reviewing Good Omens. I love that book. Odin, you there?
I'm here, man. Thanks for inviting me on.
No problem. We're just about to talk about Brie Larson's little act on I'm just opening up my super chat window here on Bounding into Comics. I'm going to get to that article where it looks like she shut somebody down. This is definitely video material for you. Look for a lot of videos on this and from everybody in the next couple
of course.
It's gotta get that algorithm,
damn straight.
You got it here. I'm getting there. There we go. Oh, it's okay. Oh, look at Brie.
Targeted harassment? Is this the one?
Okay, yes. So this is like I said in that title, Captain Marvel and Brie are absolutely the most protected actress and IP in the history of Hollywood. And I don't think that's hyperbole.
No, I completely agree. And I don't get why.
It's to protect the agenda. There's an agenda that they are trying to push through these films. And this is all part of the quote unquote, and I hate to get political here, but the whole point is I don't want politics in stuff. I'm not saying I want right-wing politics in or left-wing. I want I want both sides to be treated with a little bit of respect. Of course, if you make a political thriller or something like that, or if it's a documentary, absolutely. I'm not saying, but mainly in like Doctor Who and the MCU, it's not something that's even necessary in that storytelling. And certainly you can show both sides of an argument like The Expanse does quite well.
Yes,
quite well.
That is a very political series, but it's not political in the sense of, you know, modern politics, though.
No, and it's a big what if actually, and
yeah,
you know, two very liberal guys. You know, Earth is depicted as being run by the UN, and it's not a pretty picture at all.
No.
And I think it's very realistic and really well done. So here we go. And then I want to get your guys' reaction on this. Captain Marvel star Brie Larson participates in targeted harassment against Netflix Unicorn Store critic. And this is by George. I don't want to mess up his name. George Aranis, from Bounding into Comics, a very good website that I recommend you guys try to check their advertisers out. Really support this website because they are supportive of free speech, and I like that a lot. Captain Marvel star Brie Larson jumped at the opportunity to bash a critic of her Netflix Unicorn Store trailer. The trailer. Engaging in what many are describing as targeted harassment. Netflix, this is the Netflix film Twitter. So excited to share the trailer for Unicorn Store at Brie Larson's directorial debut, and an absolute charming, heartfelt exploration of things that drive us and the creativity that adulthood often tries to extinguish. So the adulthood tries to extinguish creativity. And it's not circumstances. It's adulthood. It's nature. We're now going against
That's
nature.
the millennial mindset, you know?
It is.
We are all victims.
Netflix recently posted the trailer to Unicorn Store on Twitter March 22nd and was, for the most part, pretty well received. However, a number of people were critical of the trailer, and one of those was Twitter user Joe Gill. Gill wasn't really harsh in his criticism, describing his reaction to the trailer as blah, before offering some advice to Netflix and Larson. LOL, this looks like blah. Take notes from Jonah Hill, who was mentored by Martin Scorsese and took years before he made his directorial debut out of respect for the artistry of film and the position of director. This seems like she's riding Captain Marvel's wave. I'd say that's an accurate statement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Do you think she's not Captain Marvel? No. For one, winning an Academy Award these days doesn't mean much, to be honest.
No, it means jack shit.
Yeah. I mean, just ask, what's her name? Monique. Remember when Monique won an Oscar, and because she was very gracious to God, she has not gotten a job since that movie.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah. So yeah,
wow.
She was very, and like some people might say like, oh, you're overreacting, but she has gone on record to say that she is almost unhireable at this point. She won an Academy Award for an amazing performance in Precious. I hated that movie, but she was great in it. Like, she gave an amazing performance. And because she was so much talkative about God and faith in her speech, it's like she's not been hired since then. And so I find a correlation, and I know that she's spoken about it too. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, come to think of it, you're right. It's like ever since then, it's like she dropped off the face of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Netflix's Netflix Film Twitter handle, who had originally posted the trailer, would respond to Joe with a list of Brie Larson's credentials. Brie Larson has 58 acting credits, 53 award nominations. Okay, that's great. 2 writing credits, 2 short film directing credits. That's actually 4 less than I have. I mean, I don't have credits on IMDb, but I've written films and directed them. I mean, they sucked. I mean, don't get me wrong, and you'll never see them. But well, maybe. 1 composing credit, 1 producing credit. Okay, so she got some money. 1 Oscar, 1 feature directing credit. Been working since 1998. Worked with Apatow, Baumbach, Wright, Bowden, Fleck, Abramson, and more. all right, fine. You want to clap back? I mean, for a big corporation to do that, I guess the guy had 358 followers, and that doesn't mean anything. Just because you have 8 followers, it doesn't mean you're less of an important voice on Twitter. I don't want to ever make it sound like that.
It's just petty, though. It's just petty. I mean, when
petty.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing too is like there's a huge difference between being an actor and a director, and it's a totally different skill set. And not every actor is going to make the transition over to being a director well or at all, because, like I said, it's a different kind of skill.
And it takes time.
It takes a lot of time.
George Clooney turned out to be a pretty good director. I gotta admit. I mean, I don't like the guy's politics or anything like that, but his
Good night, good luck.
The Chuck Barris one. What the hell? The Gong Show one. That was good. I thought it was good. Brie Larson retweets it.
Of course.
So Larson, who directs Unicorn Store as well as stars in the film, would also jump in on the bandwagon. I just want to show this to everybody because that is the thinnest skin I've ever seen. Like, for her to retweet that is not taking the high road. You just had somebody tweet it for you, Brie Larson. You didn't need to do it. Actually, you got Netflix to retweet it. So it didn't require a retweet. The mic was dropped right there. That was a decent response to Gil's criticisms, I will say. Now I will agree with you guys, though, incredibly petty, and Netflix really shouldn't be doing stuff like this, because now you're going to get people like me making videos about it. And I can't wait to hear what the chat has to say about this, because that's the most important part. A few notable Twitter users took note of Netflix and Larson, claiming they participated in targeted harassment against Joe. Adam Tran pointed out that the multi-billion-dollar company went after a user simply for criticizing the product, and indicated that Joe had to lock his account. His account is still locked. So he had to lock his account because it got retweeted by Larson, originally tweeted by Netflix, which probably had thousands of retweets. Look at this. Look at this. Does that say 257,000 likes? I don't know how many retweets it's got there.
If you click on it, it should pop it up, and you should be able to see how many times it's been retweeted.
I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, it's still up there. Where'd it go?
You probably clicked off of it.
But there we go.
There you go.
8,869 retweets. He's probably getting added like crazy. 75,000 likes. That's the Netflix one. If we go to the Brie Larson one, I wonder. I am curious. Oh, okay. It just takes me there. I'm a dumbass. But yeah, hers is 257. So she actually got more. That's interesting.
And you know that most of those people were going after this guy, and
there it is. 30,000 retweets.
God.
I mean, like, that's bullying right there. If you want to,
you know what's so funny too? This is reminding me. Remember the interview that she did where she did the Google thing, and she was pulling out the things about Google, and when you put it in your name and such, and all the different comments that come up. It was so funny because the first thing she said was, I've never Googled myself before. And then you look at this and you're like, sure. Yeah, I'm sure that you have no interest in what anyone is saying about you online. And then you put Netflix. Yeah, sure.
Yep. And the Doctor Who report, who I've seen on Twitter quite a bit. He's all full of yourself much. So I just like that.
Well, it's like the way she was kind of responding to some of the questions. She came off as being pretty snooty.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I believe it.
Yeah. And I'm being polite.
Yeah.
All I can say is incoming. Oh man. All right. So let's get to a few notable Twitter users took the largest claim. Okay. And it says Adam Tran, a multi-billion-dollar media conglomerate, Netflix, dunks on Twitter user with 358 followers and sends 55,000 psychos his way so hard he has to lock his account for the sin of saying Brie Larson's directorial debut looks like meh. Slay queen.
Slay.
Not targeted harassment. ET Canada. Netflix shuts down Twitter troll. He's a troll.
Because he expressed an opinion.
And that's because that's a new term. Like that is the new definition for troll. Troll is now if you disagree with the Hollywood majority, you are now just a troll. You are not a person with an opinion.
Well, they also made alt-right Nazi completely useless. So why not ruin another word?
Yeah, pretty much.
Others also directed the actions of Larson, and Netflix decried the actions of Larson and Netflix are harassment, not smug. The dude had locked his account after Netflix sent over 50,000 people after them. But okay, sure. How dare anyone say Brie Larson's acting is mediocre, right? Do be quiet, ET Canada. Netflix and then not smug. Don't you ever tell me that harassment is not going on that the establishment harassment for going against the establishment doesn't exist. What Larson did in being complicit is twice as disgusting as what Netflix did for initiating it. Whoever made that tweet on Netflix corporate account should be fired. End of. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about fired, but I think Netflix should probably take down their Twitter.
At least delete the tweet. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Delete the tweet, maybe some disciplinary action. I don't necessarily think that firing is necessary.
Yeah, I think that's when we go a little bit too far into
but
I would say,
don't fire anybody.
But delete the tweet. You know what? In fact, if you want to have the tweet up again, you can put the tweet up again. You can put the same information up, just delete it from having him, connected to it.
At him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they want to flex their muscle. Why do they want to flex their muscle? Because we're getting to them, folks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get to you in the chat in just a second. Let me finish.
It's so funny. It's so funny because I'm getting comments still from videos that I made 2 weeks ago about Captain Marvel. Yep. And it's a bunch of people coming in saying $915 million.
Yeah, I get that too on occasion.
It's like, congratulations.
I don't fucking care.
I know. It's like, all right, I was wrong. I admitted I was wrong because obviously I underestimated the normies. Again, had I been watching more of Nerdrotic's channel, I probably would have been like, I should have seen this coming. But no, seriously, it's so hilarious that they are still harping on this because this is the only victory that they have is look at all the money. Look at all the money. It's like, yeah, just wait until the future when people stop.
Well, there's plenty of shitty movies that made lots of money, and there's lots of ways to fail too. And that's the other thing they don't get. They see the dollar sign as being success.
Well, they see that more than the dollar sign. They think their agenda just succeeded. They actually think it was because of their agenda and not because of the MCU brand.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing right there.
And you can't see it because Netflix and their followers decided to bully him for daring to have an opinion about a cringe film. This is another reason why I don't have Netflix subscription. Daily Jen, it's despicable. I can't believe Netflix is part of this. Also, all of the pile on harassers sick. The current timeline where a multi-billion-dollar corporation entity dunks on a random Twitter person for having an opinion, a faulty one, and hordes of Twitter denizens. Thank you. Go and bully his ass. Meh. I think there's better timelines out there. Well, not really. I'm going to really enjoy. There's a Joe Rogan podcast. I'm going to see what video they linked. Twitter doesn't have a clear definition of targeted harassment, but they do have a definition of abusive behavior. You may not engage in targeted harassment of someone or incite other people to do so. We consider abusive behavior an attempt to harass, intimidate, or silence somebody else's voice. Twitter openly admitted they suspended a number of accounts, including Milo Yiannopoulos, after engaging in Ghostbusters actress and Saturday Night Live performer Leslie Jones back in 2016. This type of abusive behavior is not permitted on Twitter, and we've taken action on many of the accounts reported to us by Leslie and others. We rely on people to report blah, blah, blah. Twitter's lawyer, oh my God, I almost said Vijay. It's Vijaya. Explained Vijay, their lawyer, explained why Milo Yiannopoulos was banned during an episode of Joe Rogan Experience.
Oh, and it was cringeworthy. If you haven't watched that episode, I recommend it because Twitter looks awful. They give the cringiest responses and try and make up so many excuses for why certain people with certain political affiliations are taken down while others are still left up. People who have actually doxed others, people who have called for actual violence, no repercussions for them whatsoever.
But they've literally admitted they have a bias anyway. Jack admitted that they have a bias like a year ago.
And I still need to see that one where Tim Pool.
Oh, it's so great. Tim Pool. Yes, he goes.
Yeah, I saw the first one.
Yeah. Oh, see the one where he brings them on, because it's Tim Pool there with the two people from Twitter. Yeah. And it's great because he literally is like, now hold on a second. You just said that. Let me bring up a bunch of these examples. And there's a couple of times where they're like, well, we didn't come prepared for this. And it's like, well, obviously you didn't. God.
Yeah, I need to have like the 3 hours to sit down and watch the whole thing. Because I watched the first one. It was pretty funny. I was doing a Lego modular build, and my wife's watching TV. I'm listening to this and putting my crap together. It's like, God, man, that was such a good episode of Joe Rogan. But yeah,
what were you doing?
I was doing a Lego modular build.
Ooh.
What's a Lego? Yeah, were you building Legos, or is that like
no, it's a modular building. I really like their modular buildings.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Also, someone asked in the chat, what is doxing? So for those that don't know, doxing is when you put someone's personal information out. So for example, you've seen a lot of celebrities put out individuals' information saying, hey, here's their personal phone number, here's their address to the public. And that's doxing, because that obviously puts them and their families at risk of crazy people, actual crazy people going and showing up at their address or calling them or emailing them, finding out where they work, things like that. That's what doxing is.
And it sucks.
Yeah.
Happened to a fellow YouTuber, Tug. It's happened to many.
Happened to Tucker Carlson too. That was pretty nuts.
The video of that is just disturbing.
Yeah. Very disturbing. As far as we know, Remfamous is still off Twitter too, right?
I heard she was perma-banned.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true.
Interesting.
She probably deserves it for all the stuff that she's done. So
yeah.
But also too, just getting back to the point with how you said it's not necessarily about one political affiliation. It's all politics being taken out of film. But the problem is that, Hollywood is just so one-sided when it comes to that it's only really, the left side that's going to be political and has the politics in film. Like, seriously, can you name one film that's had a wide release in the last 10 years that has had any type of, conservative or right-wing spin that hasn't been a pure flicks film, like the Christian God's Not Dead, or some other really indie small project that doesn't get any distribution for obvious reasons. The last one that I can think of was a comedy that was made, and I forgot the name of it, but it was made with actually the brother of Chris Farley as the lead, and he was playing and making fun of what's that documentary maker's name? Michael Moore. It was hilarious because it was like, oh, this is actually a comedy from a conservative standpoint. This is rare. And of course, it doesn't happen. And as I said, and as you said, we don't want it we don't want it in our film. And unfortunately, one side kind of owns everything. And so it's really only one side that's doing it.
Yep. And it's going to be an uphill battle. I mean, look at this, again, this isn't Disney now. This is somebody else. This is somebody else putting up for Brie. I don't understand. I mean, well, I do understand why she's so protected. They think they're actually white knighting, and it's just frustrating.
I guess she's like the next big thing or something.
She is so not.
At least they're trying to make her.
Yeah. Let's go to people. Let's see what the people have to say. Okay, Ian Moon, $2. As men avoid soy, it increases estrogen. It avoids. Thank you for the $2, Ian. Loquacious Primate, $10. There is a school of anti-third wave feminism that welcomes sexual dimorphism and accepts without forcing them traditional femininity for women. Had an ex that was into it, but I forgot what it was called. It obviously did not make an impression on you, but that's cool. No, I mean, I listen, there's a lot of big words there. But
Dimorphism, especially.
I just think okay, when we get into constructs, it's something we should certainly talk about. It just shows that we really live in a great society when we can start digging deep into these constructs. We have time to do so. That means things are going pretty damn well. That's all I can say. And everybody should make a gratitude list. Sci-Fi George, $5. Imagine the heroes are about to fight Thanos in their comic accurate outfits, and Carl Manvers is the one who shouts, "Avengers Assemble!" I will puke.
Oh, God.
I will puke.
I will probably laugh, but for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, I know. It's unbelievable.
Is that a walkout offense, do you think? Is that I'm done?
It might be.
Yeah.
If she yells Avengers Assemble, I'll be mentally done. I'll probably stick with it because I need to do a review. But
yeah.
I'll be
Knowing them, she won't yell it. She'll look back with her, RBF and just be like, Avengers Assemble.
Yeah, she's got that growly voice. Avengers.
Yeah.
Assemble.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. You're so toxic. I'm gonna retweet this. I don't Google myself, but I'm gonna retweet this. Oh my God. You don't like my movie? Oh my God, you're a sexist. How dare you?
Netflix.
You're not allowed to review or even look at it because you're a white male. You're staring at it funny. That's what
I
we're
don't
asking.
care what you think.
Oh my God, I went to the airport and someone said I look pretty. Oh my gosh, you have no idea what it's like to be a woman. It's so hard.
It's so hard to be blonde and white in America. It's so hard. Yeah, right. Wow. Voided Legacy, Canadian $2. Captain Marvel movie or the worst smoothie ever? Worst smoothie ever. I would have like a 3-day-old asparagus smoothie with sushi and clams mixed in.
No.
And it's been sitting out in 75-degree heat for 3 days. I'd suck that thing up before I freaking saw Captain Marvel again.
Man, I'm wanting to vomit just like listening to the list of ingredients. Honestly, at that point, I think I'd rather watch the terrible movie
because at least that has an end to it.
That's some abuse, dude. That's gonna stick with you for like a week.
Ah, shit. You know, your stomach gets used to that stuff. Trust me, I lived on the streets, man.
Gary's from the streets.
On the streets, man. 1057 sends a super chat of 1057. The Streisand effect is in full force here, but you're right. But did you expect Brie to act any less than an entitled child? You also know it's really cheap to buy retweets just saying, you think Brie bought some retweets?
No, I think there's enough idiots out there that probably would actually do it.
But it's so hard being a blonde pretty girl.
My gosh.
Oh my God. I only got 30,000 retweets.
I just don't understand. Fat Gandalf in the chat says, Shakespeare wasn't written for you. Michelangelo didn't sculpt for you. Mozart didn't compose for you. Brie, son of Lars.
Yes. I need to save that one for my video.
Also, the fact that the name was Fat Gandalf just makes me so happy.
You were going in my video, Fat Gandalf.
Whenever I hear
Dumbledore, the second Dumbledore. So. Fat Gandalf.
Whenever I hear Fat Gandalf, I think of Fat Panther.
Fat Panther. Where is Fat Panther? Is he still around?
I think so.
I used to roll around in the chat with Fat Panther and a brown comic book reader, and I saw one of the other ones. Yeah, you're bringing that. They're coming back. They're following you. Comics division has this following. So, Justin,
I have no idea why.
Yeah, I don't either. No, I'm just kidding. Australia. I'm one of the comics division followers. You kidding me?
I know.
Australian $20. Gary is. It's as if now Disney has promoted their Saturday morning cartoon lineup of writers to the MCU, and now we're getting Coyote's Acme PC crap. I watched Shazam 10 times. I'll watch Shazam 10 times over Captain Marvel. Actors are entertainers, period. Yes. I'm sorry. I'm saying this directly to Brie Larson. Dance monkey. That's it. That's what they need to do. And if she wants to have her opinion, that's fine. It's learn to articulate it a little better, maybe. I mean, at this point, I don't care. And honestly, we can say thanks, Brie, for being you, because some of us were like, wow, I wonder what our next video is going to be like. And you made it just so damn easy.
Gary, I'm not saying that I hate white people. Gary,
I don't hate white dudes.
Gary, I don't hate white dudes. Okay,
White dudes?
I don't hate them.
My God, white dudes.
God. White dudes, but like, I don't think you understand. Oh my God, I don't hate white dudes. Did I mention I don't hate white dudes?
Yeah,
It's just like 5 times. It's like,
yeah, for the
pretty sure you hate
third
white
time,
dudes.
I don't hate white dudes, but it's like the way you say it, Brie.
Mhm.
It's like you say you don't hate white dudes, but you sure sound like you do.
If you have to say it twice in one speech, you hate white dudes.
And she said it like
I
3
don't know
times at
why.
least.
Sounds like a daddy issue to me. Work at
Maybe.
therapy. Voided Legacy Canadian $2 for drinking the smoothie. Canadian $2 for drinking the smoothie. Thanks.
God, you brought up the smoothie again. Now I want a retch.
Jordan Walkeriz. Canadian $10. According to Brie, women's achievements are ignored, which is funny considering she wore a $14,000 USD outfit to her Unicorn Store premiere where only women were allowed to attend.
Isn't that great?
This is the thing that makes my head want to explode. Is this whole thing with this segregation coming from the left, and it's like, how is this a thing in 2019? I mean, over the last 100 years, we've been building up to this point of, giving more liberties to people, and you're trying to achieve equality. And now we're trying to segregate. It's ridiculous.
Yep. And it's something sad too, as as someone who teaches, you see it happen in schools too, where how beforehand, segregation was a really bad thing. And that when you see and go to school and teach at a school, you realize that kids nowadays are almost segregating themselves into their cliques. And a lot of times it's based on race or it's based off of other qualities. And it's just really sad in a lot of ways that we are living in this time where we've never been more free. And yet we can isolate ourselves so much from each other.
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate.
Well, it was what we were talking about earlier. Anybody who is an advocate for, we'll just pick a widget agenda. We'll just say the widget agenda. Once that widget agenda has, what the issue has largely been solved, or there's been great, we won't say nothing's solved, great progress made, then that person is out of a job. So they have to muster up the troops and create division to keep the, and listen, the media is complicit, is probably the most complicit in this, because they need to keep, they're struggling right now, and these divisions are getting wider, and on either side now at this point. And like Hollywood actually could play a huge part in de-escalating this stuff.
No, but they're escalating it.
But they're escalating. Yeah. Yep. That's the
issue. There was actually a really good comment that was made during the whole Captain Marvel thing on Rotten Tomatoes. And the guy just made a really great point of, it's 2019. Why are we trying to widen this divide between men and women? And I'm not articulating it well at all, but it was just a really good point that the guy made.
Listen, I'll just tell you my personal motivation for it. I have 2 kids. I have 2 kids that happen to be white, and I don't want them growing up in a world where it's okay to call them peckerwood cracker, you know, or anything like that, because I wouldn't let them say that about anybody else. You know, I wasn't the strictest parent in the world, but you know, I actually had good parents in that arena too. My parents, even growing up old school, my parents weren't racist. I never heard a racist thing come out of either. One time my mom said something just about, I remember her whispering to me, Elton John is gay. That was it. That's the only thing I can remember. And I'm like, what's gay, mom? You know, I was like 6. So yeah, but that was it, you know, and that's, you know, that's the kind of thing I don't want it okay for, you know, thankfully, like bullying isn't as bad in schools that when it, you know, in my time. So my kid doesn't get picked on, but he certainly could because he's a little weird. And we're in like uber liberal San Francisco, and when Brie Larson is running out there, you know, saying white dads, white dads, white dads, you know, then, you know, the kids pick up on that shit, and then it's okay for them to say it because they saw this big actress saying it, and then they start saying it to my kid, you know, in a derogatory way. That's personal motivation in that, and plus, you know, it's just wrong, and we need to point out the hypocrisy of it. And you know, sometimes it's fun pointing out hypocrisy. It is. And listen, I say that as a hypocrite. We all are.
Yeah,
like
we
Jeremy
all are.
said, we all are. But let's get to something fun before we run off. We're getting close to time to go, but I want to talk about the Shazam prediction because I don't know if you covered this or not, Odin, but apparently it made on its little preview night that not everybody knew about. It made $4 million.
Oh, that's awesome. No,
Yeah,
I actually didn't know that.
It broke all the records for a premiere, for like an early premiere or something like that. I'm
sure it's only in so many screens. I mean, that's very impressive.
That's awesome.
And yeah, my theater was packed. So Warner Brothers box office predictions for Shazam revealed. Our source provided us another email indicating that Warner Brothers expects Shazam to have an opening weekend gross of 45 million and will bring in 150 million overall at the domestic box office. I think it'll do better than that. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. They compared the film to Sony's recent release of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I could be wrong on that one. That seems a little low to me, but maybe that's all it makes. Would that be a success though? That's the question. Not only did we get box office explanations, but will also be early screenings for Shazam on Thursday, April 5th at 4 p.m. That's good. The expectations are in line with Box Office Pro's predictions from February, which indicated the film would bring in between 40 and 60 million opening weekend. I think more 60 million, maybe. Deadline indicated the film would bring in 45 million on opening weekend. However, it's possible that the movie might do a little better than just 45 million opening weekend. The film recently had an advanced screening courtesy of Fandango, and Deadline indicated that the single day haul was over 3.3 million. So it's 3.3, outperforming Aquaman, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, How to Train Your Dragon 3, and Transylvania 3. Aquaman would open wide at 67 million to earn 334 million domestic. Sony's Jumanji did 36. I like Jumanji.
I did too.
Yeah. And yeah, so I hope it does better.
Yeah. And I'm looking at Cosmic Book News, and they gave a bit of a percentage. So it says Shazam brought in an estimated 3.3 million for the Saturday, March 23rd showings compared to Aquaman's own Saturday screenings of 2.9 million, almost 14% increase. And then Aquaman, of course, went on to make 68 million. So if that holds, if that percentage holds, especially, you're looking at a 75 to $80 million potential opening weekend, which would be very, very good, I think, for not only a DC film, but also a DC comedy film, like a straight comedy film. At least that's how the trailers are playing it.
Yeah, so. And I saw it, and I think it was great. I would call it great. I came out of that one feeling very happy. The audience was really happy. People were cheering. And the most important thing of all, again, I'll go to my 13-year-old kid, loved it. And he went home and started Googling Shazam, learning everything he could about Shazam.
Nice.
And that's exactly what these films need to do. They need to have 13-year-old boys and girls going home and Googling and learning about these characters, going to Comics Explain, maybe even going to a comic store and buying a book. My son got a trade. You know, that's how it helps the comic shops. And the less you make your character act and look like it does in the comics, the less it helps the comic shops. And we see the MCU kind of moving away from looking like they do in the comics, and that's kind of a problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Somebody in the chat says, yes, I do go to the gym.
Yeah. And Tina also, one of my Valkyrie, she's in the chat, and she was very happy with it also. She really, really liked it a lot. And I would say too that, you know, when it comes to this box office tracking, it's always hard to trust it and to peg it because it sometimes can be so off. I mean, that's the reason why I was like pretty much like I was certain that Captain Marvel was not going to live up to the expectations that they were setting for it because of the pre-sales, because they did the same thing with Solo, and Solo ended up not making anything opening weekend and everything. So I'm hoping that this film is able to kind of say, yeah, it might not break any pre-sale records, but if it can get, you know, dare I say, if this film gets $100 million opening weekend, that would be phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to do a lot. It needs to do a lot because the one thing that Shazam does not have that Captain Marvel had was the number of theaters, for one, the fact that Disney had Captain Marvel in every format available, including the IMAX, the 3D, etc. Because Shazam is actually not getting from what I saw at the very least, is not getting the same type of release as other films are. It's coming out the same weekend as another film where the other film is going to get the Dolby release. Shazam is not getting apparently a Dolby release. And that's big because that's big money. So that might keep Shazam back from making as much as it could.
That's one thing that's interesting is that it does seem that Captain Marvel was released to a lot of theaters, more so, I guess, than your average movie typically is.
Yeah, for as far as the MCU is concerned, it was the second most theaters out of any MCU film other than Infinity War. You add on top of that the fact it came out in China and all the other countries on the same day, and that because as someone who works at a movie theater, the way it works is that basically bookers tend to work, you know, in conjunction with theaters. And so the bookers work with the studios, and then they tell the studios, hey, so you need to have 5 showings in 3D. You need to have 15 showings regular. You need to have 3 IMAX showings, etc. So they tell you exactly how many showings you need to have. And that's the contract essentially that they make. And so what happened in this case is that when it came to Captain Marvel, they were asked to give as many 3D shows, IMAX shows, Dolby shows as possible, on top of course, the just giant number of just regular showings on top of that. So they stacked the deck to make sure that film had as big of an opening as possible. So that's when people were saying there were empty seats and there were half empty, etc. Well, that actually still makes sense. It still makes money because if you have it available everywhere, and if you're making people pay, you know, on average a higher ticket price on top of all of that because of all the premium seats that you're forcing theaters essentially to have if they want to have your movie, then at the end of the day, yeah, you're going to have a pretty good opening.
Yep. Giving it every pot. And you know what? And even with all that, it didn't get as high of a critic score that I thought it would get, which, you know, it's in the 70s, right? And I don't know if it stayed down there, but it would hit 59% in the audience. So let's get through some super chats here real quick. Jordan Walcross, according to Brie, okay, I already read that one. Galactic Dude, $7. Thank you again, Jordan, for the Canadian $10. Galactic Dude, $7. What's your opinion? I saw a video on SC Reviews, great channel, and he read an article where the SJWs are now coming after the Matrix and the Lord of the Rings. I don't know how they could possibly come after the Matrix. The Wachowskis are as SJW as it gets. I don't know how you could do that. Lord of the Rings, I could definitely see them. I have a great concern for the show that's going to come out on Amazon, and I have promised that if they SJWI's Lord of the Rings, the prequel, I will dedicate my entire channel to it.
Yeah.
I will freak the fuck out on that.
Yeah,
one.
that's you're fucking with mythology at this point.
Yeah.
You know,
and if you want to talk about passionate fan bases, I mean, you don't want to mess with that one.
Nope.
Yeah. I mean, every fantasy genre out there is basically built off of Tolkien. You don't fuck with it.
Gary P 299 supporting my fellow Gary. My wife hated it. What, Shazam or Brie Larson's movie? Probably Shazam. That's okay. My wife hates some shit too. She doesn't like Doctor Who. Krista Joe 499. Loki is the hi Krista. Loki is the pivotal endgame character to defeat Thanos because he's a wild card. Tom Hiddleston has said his prequel series is relying on Endgame's ending. Thoughts? That's interesting. I was told, well, not told, I heard that pre-snap deaths were final, but I could totally see Loki coming back, especially if they're going to be doing a series. And it's going to be kind of like Doctor Who. He's going to be going through time and stuff. That's interesting. I like the character of Loki. I have no problem with him being pivotal in Thanos's defeat. I wish they would stick to the comic book a little bit with that, where like Nebula is pivotal, and unfortunately, I think
she probably will be,
and I think she will be too. But I think Captain Marvel might take Adam Warlock's place, which would,
yeah.
Thank you, Krista. Jolton Burrow, $5. The crap of late is a big reason I prefer older films and smaller studios. An example of a gem from a smaller studio is Toho Shin's Godzilla.
I heard that was great.
Yeah, I gotta see that. Thank you, Joel. You're probably right. Loquacious Primate, $2. I like science. Spock from STD last night. Yep.
I like science.
Spock said, I like science.
Did he really?
Could you imagine Leonard Nimoy saying that? That's when he did that. I threw a pencil at the screen. That's the first time I've thrown something at my screen in a long time.
I like science.
Science is cool. I like science.
I like science.
That's almost like I like twiddles. I like science.
Yeah.
What did
is he mentally deficient Spock?
I liked a picture of an asteroid. I love science. JPRPH1, what's up, man? $4.99. Safe travels, Gary. Blessings to you and yours, Roddick. Yes, and to you too. Thank you. And guys, why don't you plug your channels? Why don't we start with Comics Division?
Oh dear. Am I actually ready for this? Okay. Let me copy and paste this into the chat so you guys can go check it out. There you go. There's the link. So yeah, I think some of you guys have already checked out my stuff. As I say, my videos are a little bit different than when I do things live. I do the funny voice and I kind of make fun of things. If you want to follow me on Gab as well as Twitter, it's at Comics Division, same as the channel. That's pretty much it.
At Odin.
And you can find me over at Odin's Movie Blog on YouTube and also on Twitter as well. Link. Oh, I can't post links.
Well, I'll fix that. Hang on.
You do not have a rinser.
I don't. I have it on the newer channel, but anyway, thank you.
Did you type something in there? Type something in there real quick. So just put hi, and then I'll make you
No, you told me specifically to type something, so I typed something.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Wow.
Just for you.
That's so literal.
Yeah, I took it literally.
That's good. Good for you. You do that.
Good for you.
There. You are now
look at that.
able to do that. Boom.
Oh, boom. There we go. All right. Yeah. Anyway, you can find me over there. I talk about movies and pop culture. Had a video today where I actually talk and defend Jordan Peele's recent comments about not wanting to hire or to write characters for white people.
That's funny. I actually was wanting to bring that up before we departed.
Yeah.
He said that?
Yeah.
Basically, he said that he didn't see himself ever putting himself as a writer. He never saw himself writing a lead white character into his films. And I actually defended him.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I recognize that there's issues with what he says because, there's a double standard. And I do recognize that. But I also defended him a bit just because I think that there is something to it where I think people should be able to choose whoever the hell they want. But
yeah, I think especially being a creative person, you should be able to create what you want. Mm-hmm. And if he wants to go and only have black actors, I'm perfectly fine with that. Mm-hmm. My only issue is the double standard, as you pointed out.
Absolutely.
That's a good point. I got a good problem. He can write whatever the hell he wants, but I'm also hearing. I heard Us was kind of overrated. I'm not sure. I haven't seen it, so some people. Although the New York Times called it an achievement in cinema, so maybe it was.
Well, the problem with the critics is that you can't trust them because, and you see it in their actual reviews, they are taking it as a pure political piece. But when you actually like read what Jordan Peele wanted to do with the film, he didn't have a particular, political message in mind. He obviously had a deeper message in mind, but it actually, in its essence, is not political. Like, just even based on the interview, he says that it's all about, how at the end of the day, instead of it being us versus them, we really should be focusing on us.
Yeah.
Like that we might be the problem, and I think that that's a much better way of looking at it rather than saying, oh, it's just the Trump people or it's just the Hillary people. It's like, no, focus on yourself more so before you.
Well, that's what you have more control over too.
Yep.
The only thing you really can fix in life is you.
Yep.
And that's exactly how I feel about presidents. That's why I don't. That's why I voted for Howard the Duck, and I will continue to vote for Howard the Duck.
See, my state doesn't let me write in candidates, and so I have to choose somebody because I just feel like I have to. So that's why. Well,
up until recently, my vote. This is for another day, but my vote doesn't even count. So it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
I vote for Howard the Duck because I've to this day in my almost 5 decades have not had a president direct my life directly.
Yep.
A governor has, mayors, city council, but not a president. No,
yeah.
My life has been pretty much the same. When Gray Davis regulated the electric companies here in California, and our bills went from $30 a month to $300.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And you guys got screwed.
Yeah. That was in 97, 98. And that's what brought Arnold into office. He did that. And like it instantly put like 50 restaurants out of business in San Diego, like in one day.
God.
Like they were like, we're done. We can't do this. Cause their electric bills went from like probably like 1,000 to like 20,000 or something like that. It just buried them. Yeah. And by the time it got fixed, it was a mess.
Dude, I remember the rolling, brownouts and blackouts you guys were having in your state. It was bad.
And they were fake.
Yeah, of course they were. They were.
What's sad too is that the people that could easily affect that don't vote in those elections. And I mean, in my own state, the turnout for those types of elections is like depressing. Like so many people show up for presidential elections, but when it comes to the local ones that actually affect us directly, oh no, we're not going to show up. We don't care.
Yeah. All right. Like we'll get through the last of these. Gary P says it was Captain. She hated Captain G. Thanks, G. Thanks for the $1.99. JPRPH1 $4.99. You already said safe travels. Eric K. $5. I was attacked on a site when I said my girlfriend hated the movie and her 2 young boys, 5 and 6, did not like it. Bright side first movie, no toys asked for. Wow. Yeah, that is a bright side.
That is very bright.
That sucks. And that's, you know what, that they just lost those kids. And that's important. So they made a Captain Marvel movie and they didn't keep the kids in mind. And this is what's going to happen. They just thought they had enough goodwill to try some experimentation. And sometimes you got to try that, but we just know that none of the success from Captain Marvel. Yes, there was certainly success. It made a ton of money. I just question how genuine that was. And not that they went out, no conspiracy theories. It's just the brand is strong. They could have crapped out anything and it would have made that much. It'll be completely forgotten very soon. Peter Davison, Australian $5. Hello from Australia. And Peter Davison, hang on, I got to turn off my mic because he did send me something. And I don't talk amongst yourselves real quick.
Okay.
Hello
here. How's it going, Odin? Nice to meet you.
Oh, it's nice to meet you as well. You have a very nice voice, I will say.
Why, thank you. I've been compared to what's his name? Wesley Crusher.
Oh.
I don't see it. I really don't. I also like to think that I'm actually really a man too. So
at least you're not,
Will
looks wise
Wheaton, there we
compared to Quentin Tarantino, because I've gotten that one a lot. You look like Quentin Tarantino. I'm like, I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but
well, he's a good filmmaker.
Yes, he is, but he's not really the best looking guy. So
true, fair enough. Not the best looking guy.
Okay,
may not be the best talented guy, but he's pretty talented.
Yes, sure.
I think comics division should dox himself. I think he should be in front of the camera, but he won't do it. So.
That's only because you know what I look like.
I do know what you look like. I think
I always joke that I'm a 300-pound man in a mankini.
Well, I mean, I thought it was a Victoria's Secret underwear, but
well, you got to get that mankini from somewhere.
Thank you, Peter Davison. You sent me this Doctor Who book. I will read it, and he sent me a little article in here, and I will read that. Thank you, sir. I greatly appreciate it. That's from the PO box. That was brilliant to get. I also got. Oh man, damn it, jumped over there. Hang on, let's see if I can reach it without pulling my mic over. I got a metal model Enterprise that I can put together. This is cool. And this comes from Jason. And congrats on all your success. He wrote me a note. And I got a couple letters I'm going to read on the air, probably in Italy. Congrats on your success on 50K and beating addictions on life. That's I don't have Doomcock's P.O. box. But I'll get you to Doomcock's P.O. box is on his, if you go to the about section of his page, it's there. Thank you so much, Jason. So I sent me a Catwoman mobile, which is super cool.
Oh,
these are all this stuff you guys send me goes on the wall of wonder. So I got that. And then this is cool as hell. Superman, the movie. Yes. And look at this. I love old comic books.
Nice.
So when I started buying comics, it said still only 25 cents. Still only. I love these Planet of the Apes, man. Look at this.
Still only $8.
I want you guys to see who drew this cover. Jim Starlin and Klaus Janson.
Wow.
Jim Starlin and Klaus Janson. It's freaking brilliant. So thank you so much, Jason. I appreciate it. Thank you all for sending me stuff, and I'm not going to be able to hit it for like a week. So guys, thanks for coming on tonight. I really appreciate it. And I'm sorry this is kind of a short one, folks. I do apologize. So I will be live streaming over the week and producing videos. There is obviously a video on the way on this whole Brie Larson thing. It'll be quick because I still have to finish packing and we leave tomorrow. Boy, I keep talking. The super chats keep coming in. So Peter Davison, hello from Australia. Thank you. Christian Taylor Lee for Canadian $5. Thank you so much with no question, but thank you. Christine Venner. Hi, Christine. £5. Good night. Thanks for the great stream. Thank you, Christine. Necrofax $4.99. Another great stream. Got to work it a bit. Just wanted to say hi. Hey, have a great day at work. Or night, I should say, and make lots of money. Make that cheddar, okay? And Eric K, $5. The boys ask for and get for every Marvel, Disney, and Pixar character, male, female, does not matter. And they didn't ask for this one. This is a first. Wow. There you go, Marvel. You did it.
Congratulations. You made the money at the box office, but you lost a bunch of people. Good job.
Basically.
The 5 and 6 year olds, your future.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, got to thank Brie Larson for content. I thought it was kind of done. I kind of thought I did my last Brie Larson video, but every time I say that,
Gary, you'll never be done with me, Gary.
Oh my God.
Gary, I'm never going anywhere. I am forever. You cannot get away with me, Gary.
I'm not going to fight your war. I'm going to end it.
I'm so glad that line was not in the movie. Oh my God.
I know your dog said that was my reaction of it right there. All right. So sorry about I was trying out a new computer. Probably wasn't the best idea. So
no, I think your computer did fine, man. You had a few glitches, but it's cool. It's good.
I think it's the internet. It probably looks good to you, but it looked like I looked at it earlier.
Oh no, you pixelated a few times. I mean, it happens, but no, it's good.
Well, I'll go over it. If it looks good, I'll keep it up. But if I don't keep it up, it will still be there. It'll stay in the new release playlist. So if you go to my channel, And please share it. And you go to my channel, you'll see it in the new release list. If I unlist it, I'm not sure if I will. I'll keep it up for a day for sure. So, and also I back all of this stuff up on nerdrotic.com. So you can find us on iTunes, Player FM, all that fun stuff.
And I tell you guys, I tell this every day, every time I listen to all of the streams on podcasts. Seriously, I'm looking at my phone right now and I had one of your podcasts playing. So I love that you do that, man.
Thanks, man.
I love it.
It's weird.
Oh my God, Gary, I just love you so much. And I just have to express myself that you're just like such a beautiful person. And like, you're like beautiful like I am. And that's pretty beautiful. I just wanted to say that.
I just want to say it's so hard being a bearded blonde man in America.
It's so hard.
So hard.
I lost my privilege card and I didn't get it back for 2 days. All right, everybody. Thank you again for joining us. And yeah, I won't be able to schedule these, but I'll try to give you a fair warning. And yes, there might be some streams in the middle of the night here in America from Sicily. Until then, everybody.
Total 2 Blue dropped a super chat, by the way. Just wanted to let you know.
Oh, not another one.
Sorry.
People. No, it's okay. No, thanks for telling me.
Yeah.
I gotta go find it now because I just closed all my ding dang windows.
Oh no.
There it is. Okay, we're still there.
Blame Canada. That's all I have to say.
Blame Canada. Yes, it did arrive, Peter Davidson. I got the book. I just showed it to you. Thank you for the Australian $2 up here. Maybe he wasn't watching. Here it is, Peter. Thank you. I'm going to read this on the plane. Yay. I have, this looks so cool. He's got celery on his freaking love Peter Davidson.
Well, he is a celery doctor. So
yes. Total to blue Canadian $10. Hey, from David Mann and Kevin, night staff at the hotel, the hotel in Canada. The Orville is the hotel, the hotel in Canada.
Yes.
Welcome to the Hotel Canada.
It doesn't work, man. It doesn't work.
It's a lovely place, eh? It's a lovely place, eh?
We're sorry, but you can never leave. We're sorry. The Orville is the best thing since Star Trek: The Next Generation. It kind of is, man. And thank God it's coming back in 2 weeks, and the next episode looks great.
I'm 4 episodes in because of your recommendations, and I'm loving it so far. So
isn't it cool? It's
so
fun.
cool.
It's a great show.
The fact that they were able to take an all male race and have that storyline and it not be preachy was amazing.
Yeah, it was really, really well done.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. Simply, that's a good writer. Seth is not just about, and you know what? Frat boy humor is something we need a lot more of. But to be able to do that means you are a very talented writer because comedy is the single hardest thing to do.
Yeah, it really is.
So, all right, everybody. Everybody have a great night, and may the small folks sing songs of your greatness. Ciao.